Mad Money?
I think I've seen a couple of clips from it, but I've mentioned before, I do my best not to get external biases for markets.
Yeah. So there it is, guys.
I have a very curated list of people who actually listen to in terms of analysis and stuff. I don't want to ruin that process.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I don't know how Katina Man will feel that you don't watch Mad Money, but we'll leave that up.
I think it's financial entertainment.
Yeah, it's good time. Sure.
All right, guys.
But speaking of that, it's time for the lightning round. No, in all seriousness, we're going to send it over to the big guys. I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday. Whether you're red or green, guess what? The Jays get to play tonight. And you know every single person in this room is going to be going, go Jays, go.
Go Jays, go.
So, bright in the blue, guys. Let's go Blue Jays. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Obi, thank you very much. As always, fantastic job, my friend. I hope everyone has a good one. But it's time to send it over to Neil and Sean to see what those guys got going on. Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.
I think that's a Teddy Rose.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, I don't know why else DraftKings is down. We were just talking about DraftKings to the downside. Everybody, welcome back. Obviously, you know what up.
$4 break.
Some people probably betting on the Jays game tonight, and unfortunately, obviously, I want the Jays to win, but they're betting the other way. No, but DraftKings take it on the chin. The market is straight up and to the right, but that doesn't. You know what?
I mean, right now it's coming back. I'm trying to get short here at some point.
But you have stocks like DraftKings on the lows. You have a stock like Tesla, which is on the lows. Beyond Meat is when nobody cares about Beyond Meat. But the strength today was not like if you had Ford up 12% on your bingo card. Congratulations to you. We were talking about Ford and Intel yesterday.
Bingo.
We preferred Ford to Intel on earnings before earnings, and even having said that, there's I didn't think it was going to be up 12%. Like if you had said to me,
oh my God, it's at its highest.
It's still going and going and going, and it's Ford's world, and we're all just living in it.
Yep.
Randy would be celebrating.
Randy is losing his mind.
He's probably already left.
This doesn't make any sense to Randy.
He's on the way home.
But this is the problem. When you hate on a stock, no, but honestly, it's the same thing for me too. It's like when you hate on a stock, you failure to feel the other way.
Yes.
And I was saying, like when we had GM, I mean, this is what GM had
the same thing.
They had their biggest day since 2020 or 2022 or something on their earnings.
Yep.
And they gapped higher. And there's the GM news, right? So we were talking about it. They talked about the combustible engine. Nice little move higher there as they're selling more cars than they thought, and guided, I think I hear Randy, guided forward as well. And then so obviously there was a opportunity for Ford to do something similar. And that's exactly what Ford did. So yeah, I mean, there's the move up on GM earnings, and then there's a continuation in here today. So congratulations to anybody that did that market research and played like one name against the other. Well, you won. Because Ford upside, and then today, the only profitable EV maker in the world now is downside. I think BYD and maybe some of the Chinese names, some make money. Some
yeah, I think so.
But anyways, and this is the other one. So Ford one way, Tesla the other way. There's my greatest trade of my life. Going long at 450, we were able to get it. It's fine, we were able to get out. But yeah, look at this. Continuously movement to the downside in the market. Okay, so all right, position. Finally, I'm in one. This is a brand new position. We were fighting the short all day, right? Like right when we left, we shorted. That was wrong. We got out when it broke VWAP. That was fine. We tried to short here on the TQQs, which of course is the NASDAQ. And we started there. We finally made it back to the highs. We shorted. Then it broke the highs. So I'm just going to go short now against the 50-period moving average. If it breaks back above 1107 here or so, then I'm going to be out of this market. And we'll just say, okay, you know what, NASDAQ, you got us. Once again, you're not retracing back down. We got that hot CPI print, cool, lower than expected, cooler. But that was hot for the market. That got going to the upside. And then right now, let's just see. We tried to fade. Both times it was bought right back up at 25.4. So now maybe there's an opportunity for this to fade back down again, or maybe not. And we'll wait to see for it. I keep trying to catch that, man, because to me it's looking like, did we just break that trend? What's up, Randy? Ford's up 13%, my guy, and I blame you. So, okay, so there it is. Nice move up there, up to the upside.
Blame Marco P.
Yeah. So Mark was telling us that he really likes Intel and Ford, and both those names, he didn't even know they were reporting.
Get out of here.
Yeah. He just likes older companies, that's all. There was no real logic in it or anything. It was just like he was liking those companies. But then they blew it out of the water, right? And so, anyways, cheers to you, Mark. But yeah, nice downside push there for the futures. Looks like we're just gonna come back up and test this area one more time. Looks like we might get stopped out here. So we tried that bottom break. It was working. Some people were with us on that, and then now they're not. So here we go, right back up to the upside. Looks like we'll take another L on a short here as we get ready for the rundown. So yeah, lots of names happening. This is just a futures trade. We'll see if it works out. Maybe it doesn't. Individual names, we talked about a bunch of them. We're gonna go through our rundown.
Well, the chips are super strong. I'm in second time here in Micron. So Micron broke trend, poorly drawn trend line, but whatever. It broke the trend right about here, right at that 217 level, worked down the first quarter, reloading it off that same prior bar high. So my stop hasn't really moved, but I have reloaded it, and I'm in Beyond Meat, which I was telling you guys how crazy that move down was. Well, it got all the way here. It got all the way to fill in this gap. So go back to, I guess that's Tuesday, right? Yeah, of course it's Tuesday. You can count, Neil. The 2 quarter was where it had support right at about noon, and then the top of the opening range. So it bounced off that, actually 222, almost exactly. Bottoming tail candle, went into the long. I didn't reload it because I'm like, Beyond Meat stinks, so how about I don't reload it at the low? So I'm still holding that same breakout, hoping to get to if you can just get to 2.5, that'll look pretty good for myself. So yeah, I think we buckle up. There's a lot of strong individual names we'll try to get to. As always, remember, I'll just say it now without pulling it up because we're going to go to Adair for the rundown. Actually, whenever we're ready. Remember to type $ and then
I think we're ready now.
Because there were a few names that I feel like people were talking about a lot. Like I saw people put in bull a lot this morning, and it never made it to the the visualizer, despite the fact there were a lot of people typing Webull.
Is up pretty good.
And Webull's having a pretty good day. So just remember, type $ and then the ticker if you want us to look at it. Right now, I'm going to just do it right now. I shouldn't talk about it, not show it, and not restart it. So I'm going to do a fresh start.
God, everyone just put it in. Again, I got to re-put it.
Well, now you got to do it again. Because I'm going to go $, and then the symbol that I'm watching this afternoon is going to show up any second now, and you'll never guess what symbol I just threw up there.
Oscar.
Jays.
Oh, Jays, okay.
Which is not an actual ticker. Go Blue.
Maybe, did you look?
You know what, I don't know. Let's see. Jays. Is Jays an actual ticker? No. J?
Jays.
Now, there's J-Ride in Australia.
There's Blue Jay Diagnostics, yeah, BJDX, but that's it.
So say that again?
BJDX.
BJDX, just off the top of my head anyway. Blue Jay Diagnostics, I believe it is a small cap medical ticker. BJDX, that's the closest I can think of.
I couldn't even punch long for jokes if I wanted to.
No.
Want to know why? Because it's done 57,000 shares, which means there's a 99% chance it'd be blocked for us. I'm willing to bet. Watch, I'm going to try. I'm just going to bid really low, and I bet you it rejects. Oh, no, we can actually. This probably should be blocked at Real Trading. It's 50,000 shares done all day long.
Maybe that's changed because so many of these names are now like.
Oh, maybe they've loosened it up?
Well, maybe because so many of these runners do under 50,000. All of a sudden, like at 4 a.m., they're blasting. Some traders maybe want to get involved in that.
I think it's good that some of those are blocked, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, so same.
Yeah.
Okay, Oaklow, people want to know about. All right, Adara, it's a rundown. You've already voted for these. So this is from the midday show. These are the top 5 or 6 symbols, whatever it is, from the midday show. We're going to start them right now.
Hi guys, pleased as punch to be here with you for the afternoon rundown. We're going to start with a name that I'm sure a lot of you have seen, talked about, or maybe even traded today. That is going to be Tesla, TSLA. This one is driving lower today. We did have this news midday. I brought this up, and we'd already kind of heard whisperings of this previously, I believe, but Tesla has a new Mad Max driver assistance mode. This basically allows the FSD to operate potentially above posted speed limits. It's a much faster FSD than other systems or settings. And apparently the new National Highway Traffic Safety Association of the NHTSA does not like this Mad Max, and it wants to investigate it, as reported by Reuters. I want to mention this as well. This is not my research, though. I did repost this on X at TTV Research if you want to take a look for yourself. But this is from Edgeful, being posted here by Wall Street Engine on X. Tesla, when it opens with a red 15-minute candle on Friday so far this year, 75% of the time it has ended up red on the day. So that's going to be it here for our first story, TSLA. Did you guys step into the Cybertruck today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, both of us. I mean, I really liked the 450 break. It was a spot on my note. I thought, I was writing down, it was like day 2 or day 3 on earnings. you know, thought there was a good chance for it to break. Yesterday we hovered around here all day, didn't break it at all. Came pretty close though, right? Came within like 40 or 50 cents of breaking it. So when we broke it today, if I take away...
Try again.
Maybe here, let me take away some of these, let me take away my fills, just so you guys can see, because this is a little bit too hard to see the chart if I have them on there. Whoops, what did I just do right there? Oh, I got rid of fills. Yeah, that's what I want. Oh, display chart title and display change. Okay, I got rid of the wrong ones. Yeah, so just look at this very first candle here. I mean, it was a big volume candle, but the candle goes from 446 to 451, so it's $5 right away. I actually missed. I don't know, my trade, I guess, wasn't, it was aggressive. I don't know how I missed it, but we missed that first initial 450 break, and then I had it and then I got it on the way back down because it just, like, it went to 452. So I was like, okay, well, if I get this, that's fine. I'll take it, and then we'll deal with it. But then it just cranked right down, and then before you could even deal with it, this is the second minute right here. You're already down to 443. So it basically went about $8 in the first 3 minutes, and it was just straight down. There was no relief. We tried to. I'll put my transactions on in a minute, but we tried to basically, here it is right here, tried to buy it, but there was no buy. And it just kept on coming all the way back in. So it just, you know, the selling was pretty tight there. There was like no, it was just right on the 21 period. We didn't, every time we got into VWAP, we got hit right back down. We tried to get into VWAP again, got hit back down. And since then, we haven't really been anywhere near any technical levels that would be of concern. So it's straight to the downside right now. If you're gonna look to maybe say like, where does this thing stop? You know, it's still a while. So I don't know, maybe you defend 430 here. I mean, the market's gonna have to tank. Like, even if this keeps on going down, it's only going down like basically $1 or $2 like every hour type of thing. So I think like we're missing some news. Adair just gave us that Mad Max mode, but I mean, we already know about that mode. And obviously it's not great to be investigated or anything like that, but okay, Adair's got breaking news, but we're not happy with Tesla today. Didn't think it would be down 3%, honestly. Taking out a key level, and good Ford earnings, you know, just didn't think Tesla would do this. What's up, Adara?
Okay, take a look here at Jacob Solutions. This one pushing higher here with, as you can see, elevated volume as WSP Global is reportedly approaching Jacobs about engineering a mega merger. This is from Street Insider. So again, Street Insider reporting that WSP Global has approached Jacobs about engineering a mega merger. Back to you.
Yeah, we were just talking about random.
Yeah, they took that seriously. Random
stocks.
J stocks. They took that really.
It's got to be BJ. It's got to be like Blue Jays though.
Maybe
or TBJ, like Toronto Blue Jays.
You should get long that.
This is not a lot of volume though. Less than 1 million shares even after the volume spike. But here's what I wanted to. So, anyways, like I was fortunate to be in and out of the break quick. But when I did the lesson of the day on Tesla, I showed everybody this because if there's a reason why I'm feeling a little bit skittish about Tesla's for next week, it was the way in. This is a 5-second chart on Tesla from eSignal, and it was the way that it failed at 450. Like, these are 5-second candle wicks, and after it broke 450, like this first one, this is a real wick in that 5 seconds. It went down $3, and the second 5-second candle went from 49.5 down to like 45. Like, that was a $4 just like secondary drop at the open. So to say that they dumped it on that fail break is like an understatement in Tesla. And like, maybe it holds on to some kind of support backing around like 430, but it's been failing that 450 price the entirety of the week because it did so on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Friday, a false break on Friday at a big, massive optionable level is just, they're just built different. And unfortunately, that's what Tesla got into. The good news would be it's not as if it's anywhere near back. Like the lows from earnings and the lows from the last couple of weeks is underneath 420. So you're still very much holding the exact same range as before. It just did us dirty, thinking we're going to trade a new one today. But for the long term, it's just still in the same range we were before, as much as you'd want to freak out about 3% down.
Let's talk here about OpenDoor, OPEN, and this one's certainly pushing to the upside, actually, no pun intended, quite literally here, opening higher and then having this massive rally. Only thing I saw here was this post from Mike Alfred, who is a noted member of the Open Army, or the group of people on X who are very vocally bullish on OpenDoor. He posted at 9:45 or 9:41 a.m., so about 11 minutes after the open. OpenDoor has bottomed. CU at $25, so clearly very bullish on the stock. You can check out this infographic at X at TTV Research. There's a lot of lore, I guess, with the OpenDoor Army on X at TTV Research. Mike Alfred is not actually included in this infographic, but either way, worth checking out if you are interested in this craze. Back to you.
The funny thing about that is,
it feels like Drake is like, what am I included in this?
No, but if you go back to that
standing
graphic,
outside my door.
How many do you know? Like, I can
None.
Rob Schneider and Drake. I can just by looking at them.
Yeah, well, Rob Schneider's sticking out like a sore thumb there.
Right, but then I don't know anybody else.
Rob Schneider's
in my
head is like.
defense, it was hard to put them all in the thing, so I did what I could. Some of them do look really awkward.
What's the woman from The Office that looks like?
That's not her.
I know it's not her, but she looks like. Angela. It looks like Angela from The Office. No, but who are those people?
Okay, I can probably name all of them, so let's go. So we've got Kaz Najarian, CEO. Up here you have the Shrisha Radhakrishnan. He was also the interim CEO. Then you've got Keith Rabois. He was the co-founder of the company. Then you've got Drake. Then you have, this is Eric Jackson, of course, one of the biggest members of the Open Army. Next to him is our good friend Anthony Pompliano, who is another big retail investor. Then you have Rob Schneider, actor. Next to him is Eric Wu, I believe, and he is another co-founder here of OpenDoor, along with Keith Rabois. Then you've got our friend Jeffrey. He actually, fun fact, I guess liked this post. That was pretty cool. He's another open investor, but he's not really on the same camp as our good friend here, Eric Jackson. And then the woman here is Carrie Wheeler, former CEO, who was ousted after a lot of retail investors did not like what she was doing with the company.
And there you go, and now we know.
So Neil, now please repeat who all those are. Were you not listening?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm just
what?
saying, you gotta pay attention.
Depends on what. Some people say cucumbers taste better pickled. OpenDoor was.
I love pickles.
That I can't honestly.
Where's that line
I know
from?
she
I don't
made
even know
it.
that line.
That's a Chappelle thing.
Oh, Chappelle. Oh, I should know that then.
But yeah, I mean, obviously Adair made that, but it's still super hot fire to be able to just rhyme that all off. OpenDoor might have been one of the easier, better technical trades. I shouldn't say easier because I didn't even trade it today. Was looking at Beyond Meat and WGRX, which the name of the company is slipping my mind. So OpenDoor, this could have a few more legs on it, hopefully, for everyone that's looking long. Why? Because there's your pullback from 11, there's your hold. The downtrend broke both with a hold of the 50 period and a bottoming tail candle and holding an even $7 level. And then today was like a clean pullback into this resistance at 780. And as long as it holds 8, like the 780 to 8 area, which is like this, like that support to resistance, close enough. As long as it holds this end of the range here today, then the next step would be a potential break to give you the next dollar. So I think that's what we're looking for. I don't know. I feel like this afternoon, it's a Friday. Volume's really good. It's a Friday. It could be worth, when I really did not draw that line close to 780. It's actually more at 790, but you got the idea. I think for Friday, maybe you scalp inside of this range. Like you can pick up shares in front of 780, try to ride it to the top. But I feel more inclined that it's a stock like this, it probably sits inside the range Friday afternoon and then breaks out or attempts to break out on Monday or something. So I'll look at OpenDoor. Like maybe if it starts breaking out at like 3 o'clock or like later on and volume starts picking up, we'll go join it. But I'll wait for Monday for this chance. I think it's certainly primed, like that it could take out this next level and go higher. Oftentimes we see this. I'm just going to juxtapose with Beyond Meat. Like one thing unwinds, and then another one starts going again. And that's almost perfect timing. Beyond Meat unwinds, tries to go yesterday. OpenDoor starts its run, continues today. So from one squeeze to another squeeze, and OpenDoor is opening up, like we said.
Yeah, I think you already nailed it right there. There's not much else for me to say. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times on the show that we're looking at this $7 area. And it held, right? I actually talked about this yesterday at this time, and it was just like, go long open. I mean, I said go long OpenDoor. I mean, you could rewind it yesterday at 3 o'clock. Like we get these super chats. We talked about going long on Big Bear AI yesterday as well. We talked about going long on the quantum names, holding them into today. So yeah, I mean, it's just bouncing off those levels. And the only hope is that once you have your stop, you just hope it doesn't gap down below it. That's always the risk. Anything holding overnight, any night, like doesn't matter if it's Friday, Monday night, Tuesday, it doesn't matter. Like next thing you know is something happens, a downgrade or some sort of a negative story. Like anything can happen to any stock pretty much overnight. You can go short something and it gets bought out. You know, so it could happen to any stock. Things could halt, lots of different things. But for OpenDoor, it's respected this $7 area so many times that I just thought it was probably worth a little bit of a shot as we climbed through that yesterday. So congratulations. I mean, I don't have it, so it's not like, you know, it was the greatest idea of all time that it was like we all had to pile into it, but that was just an idea. And I think I'd do the same thing again over here. Like if you get up to this 9 to 950 where you've seen some top wicks, that's the exhaustion, right? Traders got tired of buying it there and it fell back. So when you run out of buyers and you run out of capital to buy it, then this is what happens. So it looks like there's enough money sitting around there. Maybe Drake just bought some at 7. I don't know, I'm just saying because of that graphic. You know,
he jokes if he did.
You know, the funniest thing about it all is we talk about that Drake v. Kendrick Lamar. So and Drake is from Toronto.
And now this is exactly
and now Kendrick Lamar is always pumping the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So now you get Dodgers versus the Blue Jays. Anyways.
But
okay, so yeah, that'll never be the same now. Like I used to be like, what am I thinking about? And now it's just like that stupid. Oh, I said that 6-7 thing in our chat, and then Andre was like, haha, 6-7. I was like, shit, I didn't even mean to say that.
I promise, you know what, let me just do this very quickly before we go back up. 2 things. This market is not worth fighting. So I did reload Micron up here just underneath 30. It came down underneath 17. It went about 30 pennies in the money, took some off, and then it just broke out that local high. Not the high of the day, but the local high here. I don't want to fight it. Like I'll probably get out of any short at like a lower high instead of higher day just to try to limit it. But then Nick was asking about Ford. And Nick, your question was, do you think Ford is worthy of shorting? And I believe I'm assuming you were looking at making an options play like 2 weeks out. Personally, like I apply that 3-day rule, like let a thing settle after earnings. To me, that's equally valid shorting as it is for long. Like if I wouldn't buy the dip right away, unless it's certain circumstances, then I also wouldn't short it without letting it settle down or giving it a couple of days to make that decision. So my answer would be like I just wouldn't do it because of the old 3-day rule. It's like let it settle down after the big volume event and set something up. And then if something sets up after earnings, then you can take a long. And I'm only going to use this example because it's top of mind, which is usually how I operate. Friday afternoons, you know how my daily charts work. It just takes forever for them to load because it's on weekend mode. My daily chart wants to go to the game. You know, have a look at Amazon, right? Like there's flush on earnings, continuation day, hold. Now you could maybe long that day, you definitely long that day. Like it shows you the hold, and if you're like, I like the long, I don't have to buy it here, I don't have to buy it here. 3-day rule, maybe I buy it there. Definitely I like it on this day. Right? Like it holds the same bottom for 3 days in a row. And that's even on the 4th, and that's the 4th day, it actually has the same low. So for a short trade on Ford, like I wouldn't be like falling over myself to do it until I see something set up for 2 or 3 days. Let's talk some DVLT. Because apparently.
Now let's talk about DataVault here. So 2 catalysts from DataVault, neither of which are from today. First off, we had this catalyst with Logistics, which is why that ticker was running up here earlier. This is from Wednesday morning, so this would be, I guess, the 3rd day of reaction to this catalyst, teaming up to digitize prescription drug tracking through the use of the blockchain. So interesting stuff there. Then yesterday morning, they announced a headquarters relocation to Philadelphia. They're going to be expanding their AI and quantum centers, and they're going to be also growing their advisory board. So with DataVault, you've got a triple whammy of AI-related catalysts, quantum-related catalysts, and blockchain-related catalysts. What do you guys think of this chart here for DataVault or its friend, Logistics?
Well, they've said all the right things. Look, you're not going to hear me try to even remotely, fundamentally figure out what these guys do or whether this is good news for them. Ultimately, price action is going to have to win out on this because whether it makes sense or not, that's if you're investing in it, then do your own deep dive. Because that's not what we're into. What obviously is going on here, and I'm just going to double check to get the latest numbers. You've got a 17% short float, not a tiny float, 260 million shares is pretty decent. Like it hasn't even, like a lot of these stocks will turn over the float like on a day like today, like multiple times. It hasn't turned over the float today. It's on 160 million shares, but the float is pretty big. But it is 17% short, and this just looks like it's a squeeze. And for the bullish aspect of it, the prior highs, it's this afternoon it's still holding above the prior high. So that makes it bullish and kind of scary for the shorts that are caught, because it isn't pulling back. And as long as it holds about the 280 to 3 area, which it's held there, and it's now holding a higher low, this one has a chance. That said, what was the name? Shoot. Oh, I forget the name of the company that dropped the offering in the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah, there was. You brought it to my attention. I just
Does anybody remember the name of the company that dropped the offering like an hour ago? Shoot. Oh, what I want to say is for a stock like this, just be careful, because when it makes a move like this, you know there's always the possibility of an offering. So even though it still looks bullish, is it TVIK? Maybe it was TVIK. Even though it looks bullish, you can always have a situation where they drop an offering and then you get absolutely punked. I'm not thinking of YYAI. That was a couple of days ago. Yeah. YYAI did the offering drop a couple of days ago. It was a good short. There was one where they literally dropped the offering at the high of the day today. It was a penny stock at about like, it wasn't the CNDX. It was, I remember, I can see the chart in my head. It was at 48 cents when they dropped the offering, and it had just broken out the high. So be careful if you're swing trading or in these. You've got to have stop orders. You've got to protect yourself, because that's what companies will do. They're just doing their diligence, man. If they can.
Was it SNDX?
SNDX.
I think it was, maybe. No. Okay, I just looked at a stock that was maybe moving a little hard right now.
This is bugging me.
Here's another stock that we talked about earlier today. Exactly, we got a super chat about this one, WGRX, and yeah, they've had a nice little move too today, going all the way from 50 cents all the way up through that dollar there today. So I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention, because Neil and I talked about this a little bit in the pre-market when we were bouncing around $1. We did break through, but then look at that, man, like bounced off. I want to start to look more. Well, I mean, it's like part of what's on the sticky note is looking for 200 period moving averages. It's not rocket science. We talk about this freely every morning, but we also talk about $1 break. So what I was going to say is when it's hovering around $1 like this, and this is what I mean about having to look into this next time we see this, but it's like it's hovering around $1, it's broken in the pre-market, but then it tanks. The next time it takes it, that sort of gave us some bottoms. Now it was bouncing around almost $1 exactly that last time it took it, but then it actually took off, and then you get like that 45%. Now that's wherever you goes or wherever you get out. Like honestly, I probably would have got out right here at 115, thinking that might have been the top. But if it breaks $1, you can take it and sort of go against like whatever lows you have there, VWAP or anything like that, and then try to enjoy the longer trades. I mean, I was saying it to Neil and everybody before, and Obi knows this, and Joe, we always talk about it. It's like, oh, there it goes. It just broke $1 back down to the downside. But it's like, it's the IPO. Like, the reason why I put a lot of risk into the IPO trades or to any of these trades is because I have a plan. I take the opening print, let it ride, and if it breaks the opening print, we get out. Like different strategies like that. I don't want to give everybody OB strategy or anything, but there's also ones where it rips up and you wait for the top, and then this guy, we talk about the backside. We talk about
strategies buy with the buyers and sell with the sellers.
Right, yeah. So Obi's just saying he sells with the sellers, buys with the buyers, and that's exactly right. So when you see the exhaustion up there, then you can hop on board with it as well. So I think that's we can equate it with Klarna, IPOs, anything, but at the end of the day, if you have a strategy and you follow it with proper risk management, regardless of share size, that's how you can step it up. Because Neil and I try different strategies on IPOs. When they work, maybe we go, whatever, 50% more shares next time, or 10% more shares next time. And then as it stops working, then you decrease it 50% or whatever, right?
Or slightly change the strategy.
Yeah, or market changes. That's why I'm most nervous about like an OpenDoor IPO or something like that, or not OpenDoor,
C3, no.
OpenAI.
Oh my goodness.
So I said OpenDoor and you said C3AI. So if you just combine those two companies and you get OpenAI, that's how they came up with it.
I'm in Blue Jay.
Yeah, that's why.
I did find that stock, and thank you to, first of all, I didn't find that stock. Thank you to the chat for reminding me of the stock. The reason I wanted to point specifically this out, And it's a good example talking about that WGRX, because at all times when I was trading WGRX this morning, I was constantly moving my stop up from the off chance that something like this happened. And in 20-something years, I can't remember a company dropping an offering at a worst possible moment for traders. Like, it's almost like the only way that this happened, in my opinion, is if they were literally watching the stock move in real time to try to catch when it looked the most bullish breaking out the high. And that's when they dropped the offering. Like, it had just, there's the test of the prior high, there's the pullback, technically right, to the wick, it pulls into this level, and then retakes the high break. It's just gorgeous technically, and then as it's getting to the next penny, boom. That's when the news drops the offering, and they do it just as dirty as possible. I feel your pain because anybody could have been in this. Like let's be real.
Oh, Vivek.
It was, yeah. We
knew that.
Because it was an option.
I was like, that's
it was
Vivek.
a ticker that was really easy to get. No, but I'll fully say, like, I 100% could have had the same thing happen on WGRX, where as it's looking like it's breaking out, they drop the offering, and a winning trade turns into like a rinse job. That's just how they do sometimes. So protect yourself with stops, trailing stops, however you can. You didn't need one for AMD today, though, because that was straight upside.
Time here for AMD Advanced Micro Devices. One obvious catalyst here, and another one I think maybe worth noting. We're going to start here with the big catalyst, IBM, saying that their key quantum computing error correction algorithm can run on run-of-the-mill AMD chips. So that's a great look for AMD, which is, as of its high of day here, it was the 25th most valuable company in the world by market cap. So big surge for AMD. We also have this catalyst here with Supermicro, apparently tapping new AMD chips for its next-gen data center push. So I think obviously IBM more exciting here, but worth noting either way. Now, AMD has really been on a bit of a run to the upside since we had this story in early October with Sam Altman, here of OpenAI, and Lisa Su of Advanced Micro Devices announcing a collaboration between their companies. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar deal, and OpenAI, through warrants, could end up with a 10% stake. Could end up with a 10% stake, depending on how they exercise the warrants of AMD. So big stakes here for this deal, and AMD making some good quantum looks as well. How do you guys feel about this stock?
Well, I feel pretty good about it. But
AMD, like, I don't know, I sold like 10% of my AMD at lunchtime, so.
Probably a good idea.
I don't know. I just felt like, it just feels like it's frothy. This stock and an IBM, or no question, these were the two longs. Actually, we were saying this earlier, like Micron actually had a pretty good day too, but it's just under the radar. Only 5%. I believe IBM's around 7 or 8. We'll check that out in a second. But until this does something distinctly different, I'm going to quickly go back to my e-signal so I can get a higher time frame for you. Let's go to a weekly chart. Because right now, AMD, I know it seems frothy, and even I was just saying I sold some, but if you go back to the weekly, like you just go to this 2024 wick high where it completely went into a downtrend. It is now busting out after little consolidation of that area. It's now on a new breakout. Like this today is a new breakout above 250 bucks. So valuation be darned, at least for now. It's almost like a hop on the new level of the train for next week until proven otherwise on IMD. And on the other side of that coin, I will forever be, I'm going to kick myself for this one on IBM. I had every intention to buy the dip after earnings on IBM. That was the plan of action. Like I'll give it the old like first day, second day, buy it on the third or the fourth day. And then IBM decided that there was not going to be a dip outside of 9:15 in the morning on the earnings. And now it's an absolute rocket ship. So I'm not chasing IBM, and I already own IBM. I'm kind of kicking myself because I could have just bought the open, but whatever. Sometimes you have a plan and you're wrong. I thought this would hold down for a couple of days and then react to the upside. So both these were rocket ships. I intended on buying one, but ended up with neither.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk quickly about IBM here too, because this looks like the craziest chart I've ever seen, really. Like this, and then this, like this is just one day. I just want to say, like, this is just like that. I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to find a chart like this, honestly, where it tanks right into like the 50 period or into some kind of support, and then goes and takes out the all-time high again the very next day. Like, that's just insane. And there goes IBM. So there goes that man again, IBM. So yeah, just a big day for them today. That is for sure. And if you just look at what their chart's been doing, it's just straight up. You know, and right now you may finally, I saw Obi had the back end of one. So funny when I say that about Obi, but he had the back end of, it was IBM.
No, it was IBM.
It was IBM, yeah. So I was going to say, so there, yeah, so good.
This.
So, okay. So I do remember that, and that was just during the midday there. And so there's the move back down in it. And then right now, I'm just going to say, like, there might even be another move coming lower now because you're finally underneath the 200 period. You've been underneath VWAP for a minute, and now the 50 period. Everything's starting to turn upside down a little bit here. Shorting this name may be, just like me with the futures right now, we have been covering some of these futures right into this area. But remember, we went short, we had to average it in at that top again, but we're getting out if it breaks 1110s. So that's gonna be my out there. I think it's 12s or 13s, but at the end of the day, hopefully that makes a move down. The reason why I'm trying to go short is because we're now underneath all of this as well, but IBM actually looks a little bit better now. I would like to see it clear this area, 304, so we still have a couple dollars to go on that one, but wow, what a great name. Also a name that pays a great dividend. I don't know.
Yeah, and
now it's, you know, dividends are a percentage of what the stock price is. So it used to be 4 or 5%, it's probably now 3% or so, but still, nice div there for IBM, and you get much more than that in this name today. So good job there, anybody that bought some dips in any of these names. And yeah, that AMD is just ever since they became, you know, sort of anointed the next one where OpenAI was buying their chips and, you know, there was talk about their performance and whatnot. It really has taken off. So that's pretty interesting that they're the 25th largest company now in the world.
On the grind.
Because that's quite the feat, man. I mean these stocks were dollars back in the days.
Yeah, but I mean, but even forget about like back in the day. I even feel like a year ago, if you had said AMD was going to get there, I don't think we thought that. I think most people would have.
Oh, no. Well,
yeah.
I mean, this whole AI boon, like there's been so many stocks that have just gone insane, you know, and plus computing power, like for the quantum and for all this, like I think it just continues, man. I really think that we are in early stages of figuring out exactly what AI is. I think we might be in the middle to later stages of some of these names that are starting to really get going. Like you can see right now, Nvidia's having a problem breaking some of the highs. So what's the story that's going to lead them higher?
We haven't gone through the lineup.
We have earnings. Well, there's the IBM dividend. Yeah, now it's only 2.3%. So yeah, so that's
much better.
Thank you to Go Bills there in the chat. And who did the Bills play this week?
Just drip that in, baby. Just drip.
Yeah, just keep doing that.
It just goes right back in. So that's the other thing. Like technically, I'm always buying IBM, which is a good thing.
Been holding IBM for probably 25 years.
Who do the Bills play this weekend? Carolina Panthers.
Okay, I know they're off a bye week.
Yeah,
so.
Okay,
Adara, we now have SoFi. We like this one.
Panthers,
we like this one.
SoFi here, investors seem to like this one, especially at the open. Nice push to the upside, kind of consolidating lower throughout the rest of the day. But we did have one pseudo catalyst in this. JP Morgan maintaining a neutral rating on SoFi, but raising the price target to $26 from the previous price target of $24. Now, I could not find any note from JP Morgan to explain this price target increase, but it is worth noting we've seen some other notes from analysts a couple weeks ago. Keefe, Bruyette, and Woods and Goldman Sachs both maintaining neutral or underperform ratings of the stock, but raising its price target ever so slightly. Then we had Morgan Stanley, Mizuho, and Needham also raising their price targets for the stock within the last month or so. So what are your guys' thoughts on SoFi? But before we get to that, I also want to let you guys know, keep an eye on China and on the market here. We do have the Wall Street Journal reporting that Trump is pushing for new classes of Navy ships to help counter China and other potential threats. One more story here. Apple on Watches Mac Rumors, which is, of course, a website focused on rumors and speculation around Apple, reporting that Apple is one of several tech companies that's going to be contributing to the construction of President Trump's new White House ballroom, which is being funded by his own money and participation from founders. Back to you.
What does that have to do with Apple? Like now they're going to start to help pay for. Did you see he took down that East Wing or whatever it was? The whole thing. Buddy. Just like he just took it all down. It's like this is the White House. He's just like, hey man, I'm about property management.
You do whatever you want in your house.
Can you?
Can't nobody tell me what to do
in the White House? That's not his house.
Well, the city can tell me what to do.
I mean, look.
That's what you. I can do whatever I want. No, you can't. I have to get permits to do whatever I want in my house.
I was just gonna say here with regards to the White House thing. So Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, she was asked about this a lot yesterday, and she said, a whole stack of photos, and she's like, other people have updated the House in the past, other presidents, and everyone was like, but a demolition of the East Wing is a bit different. So yeah, I mean, as of right now, there hasn't even been any legal challenge, but you're right, it's interesting.
Okay, well, see, yeah, so obviously here we're in Canada. Like, I had no idea that other presidents had done this. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, they didn't demolish it. Okay, that's what Adair is saying. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with it. I'm just like, it's just funny. Like, you go in there and you're like, oh, I'm making an addition or doing this or doing that. So that's pretty, I don't know, I think it's pretty interesting.
Can't stay, yeah, it couldn't stay exactly the same overall.
I mean, I actually like the fact that he's going to put that UFC on the front lawn as well. Apparently there's going to be a UFC happening at the White House. You know about that?
So somehow,
that's 100% happening.
Somehow I didn't.
There's a UFC pay-per-view. Adair, can we confirm this? There's a UFC pay-per-view. I don't know if it's scheduled, but it is 100% approved by President Trump and Dana White. People in the chat could probably verify that.
Okay, so I looked this up. Apparently, there's a UFC White House fight card happening in June, I'm guessing of 26. So that is real. We know that he has been visited by UFC people, and also Lyndon McMahon, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, is in his cabinet as the Secretary of Education. So it's not completely out of the blue.
I think that's awesome. Honestly, why not? I mean, they're going to have security. Imagine getting a ticket to that. It's like, remember they were talking about it was going to be Elon v. Zuckerberg there was going to be in Roman Coliseum. That never happened, of course. I mean, you're not going to get two CEOs, one of which is, how old is Elon Musk?
The problem with that was like Zuck was training. I think if it had been a situation where neither one of them was actually training for it, then it would be more likely. But
no, but anyways, I think that's fun times. I would love to get up to that. Dane Generous in the chat says Roosevelt also apparently had some boxing showcases or whatever.
I didn't know that. Yeah, if it's a thing that's happened before, then I shouldn't be that surprised then. But I think it's fun. I didn't know, but.
I mean, our president's not, or our presidency. I mean, already calling
a 1,000,000% chance that Carney would not do that.
Oh man, he might have a carnival.
Neither would Polyev.
What do you call guys that are? What do you call guys that are always at carnivals? Carnies, right?
Carney. No, the Carnies work at the carnival.
Right. Yeah. Not attending it.
No.
Maybe we'll have a carnival on our.
We used to be into.
What do we call our parliament?
Parliament. We used to love going to.
What day is it?
And during the fall, we used to take the family. We would always, my wife and I would take our daughter, and we'd just do every weekend. We'd go to a fall fair in a small town somewhere in Ontario. And now it's like she just only likes rides at Wonderland. She doesn't care about the fall fairs anymore.
Right. She's like, I'm not going on that gangster ride.
But to me, like you go to a fall fair, it's the food.
What is her favorite ride at Wonderland though? Yeah, one or.
Not
like
really.
She's past the Ghoster Coaster, like that's easy for her.
Yeah, but like she doesn't really have a favorite. Like it depends on each day. It's like different. Like sometimes it's Dragonfire. The other day it's the Bat. And
the Bat. Oh, okay. So she's going on good, bigger rides.
We got a super chat, but before we get to the super chat, Corey, I'm gonna take out.
Too few likes.
I'm taking out Beyond Meat in front of this 250. I have not added to this. I just took one reverse trade, and it's rejecting this lower high here at 250. So, and there's someone selling it down. I might just take it out. Why even wait for it?
Okay,
I'm just going to punch it out now. But there was a super chat. Oh, and there's a poll. Have you seen Idiocracy? Of course I've seen Idiocracy. That is hilarious movie.
I don't think I have.
Hilarious movie.
No 50% no.
Luke Wilson. Owen Wilson's brother.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this on the show before.
Dude, the president is Terry Crews.
Okay,
who's like a former wrestler.
I know who Terry Crews is. I'm going to have to.
Trust.
I'm going to write it down on green sticky note.
Hilarious.
Right here.
Got to get that Brondo. We can all drink Brondo, everybody. I got the Brondo right here in my cup. Trust me. It's got electrolytes.
Okay, good. So some Gatorade up in there. Okay. Yeah, look, 250 likes. Andre, we may have to fade to black very, very soon.
I can go grab
this needs to, because we're ready to go to the Jays game. So if we don't hit the likes, we don't have to talk about anything over, took it seriously over there. But yeah, look, if every one of you could hit it right now, look, this is how many people are watching. If this is 78.5, I'm out of here right now. Oh, 78.2%. It's working, Fabian.
And higher.
Okay.
Higher.
So hit the like button. right now and hit the subscribe button. There it is, 318, still not good enough, but whatever. Try to hit the like button. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we're here another little bit. Tonight it's, Adair and I will have Steve Tileman on, I believe. Although we had Michael Noss not on, we had Brian Shannon not on. We'll see if we have him. Did you have a guess? What day did you do a recap show this week? I don't think so, did you? No. I'm not sure. But anyways, join us tonight. If we have Steve on, that'd be great. We'll talk to him about
I had to have done
names.
Monday, I guess.
We'll talk to him about some of the earnings plays and whatnot.
We did get a super chat
that are hot. Yes.
Reporting.
Idiocracy. I got it. Okay, go.
You trust me, you'll like it.
I will.
SoFi activated the ability to sell and easily exercise option plays this week. The ability to trade crypto will follow by end of the year. Love SoFi.
SoFi activated the ability to sell. What does that mean?
Easily exercise option plays.
Oh, they fix their back end or
You
something?
can sell options and you can trade crypto by the end of the year.
Can't do that now?
As much as I love SoFi, it's got a streak that I'm crossing my fingers ends today. And we mentioned this before, like it's got the same sort of bottom. It's either bouncing clean off 25 or bouncing the 50-period moving average in its entire move. But every single bounce has done one thing, and that is not close above 29. Every single bounce has failed the 29 level until potentially today, because it's 245 and it's at $29.10. Now, do I think it's going to? Probably not, because it doesn't look like it. So unfortunately, like I hope it really does, but for the next leg up, the stock just needs to hold on to this 29. I'd love it if it was above VWAP, but again, it doesn't look like that's what it wants to do. But I just saw this. Okay, I was in Micron before.
We're starting to get a nice little
tail
win here.
And breaking down. So I might re-enter on the backside of this trade, as Obi likes to say. It's just, I don't say it like Obi does, because Obi says I like the backside.
Obi got banned from saying, oh boy, by the way.
Oh, that actually happened?
Yeah. I think Brendan thought he was saying it too much, so he banned it.
So now it's like the backside.
Yeah, now he just says like, oh my, something like that.
Oh my, that's
oh boy. I mean, we can say
Sulu.
whatever. So can Obi. I'm just
my.
I'm just playing around.
Another super chat.
He's not banned from.
Oh, this one's good.
Okay. Yeah. Have you seen Idiocracy? Living through it. That's a good one. Why not? Right there. Okay. So we're finally
but
starting.
That'll be like The Rock winning.
Oh, do we even go over SoFi? I'm not sure we did. Oh, we got that super chat. Yeah. Look, I mean, this is so. I only bought a few things recently, right? We talked about it. I bought Bitcoin at 108, exactly 108. But I bought it through IBIT here in Canada, and then I bought SoFi at 25.50. This most recent, when it came back in, we're able to pick it up. We didn't get the best price, which was 25 flat. We got 25.50s, and we should have probably reloaded. I really like SoFi, just for those super chats. Some of those reasons that were given, right? I mean, if they're gonna play ball and start to add things like crypto. And I don't know, they may already have crypto. I'm just saying like what got going on Webull. And remember, SoFi is a bank. They have that bank charter. They can and are offering mortgages, loans, like credit, like all of that stuff is available. Webull and Robinhood is, sorry, I meant Robinhood, not Webull. You know, these guys are just apps trading like IBKR and whatnot. Little different than SoFi. I prefer SoFi than all of these names, but again, like we just have to look at technical levels. Like there's the drip or the drop into the 50-period moving average. There it is again.
Drip works too.
So if you did that, and the problem is you have to have orders sitting here, because it just happens in the middle of the day, like what happened with IBM, where you're sitting there trading, you're not looking at something, you're like, oh man, this market's cranked. And then the next thing you know, you're getting out of your longs, you're getting out of your shorts, the market bounces back up, and then you look at charts overnight or whatever, a few hours later, and you're like, oh, what? Like that price filled where? So I think, you know, if you're gonna do strategies like that, you should be sort of thinking about what stocks you want to do, which is why I told you I put a dip buy on gold that has nothing of my dip buys filled, because I put them in on Tuesday or Wednesday. The market has only gone up since those couple of days, so we didn't get anything. But for PayPal, yeah, so it must have been probably. I probably put them in, so I put it in somewhere down here to get filled down here, but I put it in just a couple days ago, so we haven't had that move down. I think I put it down on this red day, thinking that there's PayPal I wanted to get long into with a PE of 15. I'll take PayPal. You know that we're bidding low on Alibaba. We like that one as well. I bought physical gold. I wanted to get lower on. My gold trade is not until 340, I believe. Yeah, it's right there, see? So I think it was 350, but anyways, at the end of the day, it's around the 50-period moving average.
BetaPro, right?
we can talk about these lines as much as we want, but they're not going to be perfect. So you either bid a little bit in front of them or a little bit under them or right at them, and you get filled if you get filled. Like right into here, you know, it's just like you watch out for this 50-period moving average. This goes all the way back to January, where we basically broke it, and since then it's been straight upside. So I'm long gold, actually right here, 377.50. So
I have a question for you, Sean.
Oh no.
Are you Canadian?
Who's asking?
Me.
Yes.
Are you a sophisticated trader?
Definitely not.
Just say yes.
I mean, I knew you were getting that. So.
He's kiboshing my intro. It's the second. Every time I try a creative intro to this, he's kiboshing.
Well, I mean, I also know it's coming.
But if you are a sophisticated trader and are in Canada, we have exciting news for you, everybody. BetaPro by Globex Canada, Canada's largest provider of leverage, inverse, and inverse leverage ETFs, has just launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs offering 3x bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semis, and U.S. Treasuries. And they're also offering a special rebate fee, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until end of the year this year, everybody, December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for more pure performance and exposure. So, if you are a tactical and sophisticated trader, looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more. And obviously, it's Friday, everybody, so I
think the big thing about why it's like for sophisticated traders and things like that is like you got to make sure that when you're trading the triple. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I said no.
Mike, come on, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. I do. Hey, man. I mean, this is the guy that the comments that Mike puts in the chat.
No, Mike, you're a lot of
no, I was going to say is because you want to make sure that you don't get the decay, right? It's not going to go 3 times. It's going to go 3 times today, tomorrow, the next day, maybe the next week. But the more you hold on to that, the more it decays. So you're going to have to keep rebuying and rebuying to make it worth anything at the end of the day. So Bart Simpson in the chat said that he's really adapted the 5% out rule. And he gets out on pieces, and that way it doesn't allow his account to be winners and then blow up back up to the upside. So there's positives and negatives with all that. Right now, I'm noticing that we're having a hard time breaking below this like 75 area. So I just keep on getting out of these shorts, you know. And like Bart Simpson would say, eat my shorts. Right now, the market's trying to eat these up, but I think it's looking like it doesn't want to go down too much here. So we'll wait. And this is that sort of break of the trend that we were talking about, which is why we started to go short in the market. We also called an IBM short earlier, and I was just saying that it's looking pretty good right here. It's not really done anything since that talk. It was at 306, and it's kind of just, hovering around. I'd rather not short a name that's up 7%. Obi caught it up here, which was great. This is a 21 period. When that broke, that was that. Or this is a 50 period when that broke. But right now, it's too much. This is not what I'm looking for. I do not want consolidation like this. That's not giving me.
It's not necessarily bad.
It's definitely not a bad thing. I mean, it's going to go one way or the other here. It's just, the more dramatic moves aren't on something like that.
So I'm going to update because the same thing happened in Micron. It dropped 30 pennies, and then the second it dropped 30 cents, like here, it then broke back out. So came in, got out. What I like about it, at least this one was on the back end, like it made a high, lower highs, but this one might just be too strong. There were 3 super chats. After I do this one, can you throw the other 2 up there so I don't have to search for them if you could, Andre? From David first, there we go. Super chat is brought to you by Elon's Tears. I'm pretty sure he's just fine. 1 trillion comp fail and 5 figures of Dave's put options. Dumb trades, same as Thursday. Quantum down to close. Rigetti, QBTS, Ion Q. Well,
yesterday the moves were downside at the end of the day, right?
You know what? I think the only reason why no one's paying attention to the false break and the move down on the quantum names is because of the false break and the move down on Tesla today. So there's other places for you to look, but this was no different.
5 figures today, shorting Tesla. Is that what he was saying? Anyways, go ahead on that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, in 5 figures of Dave's put options.
Boom.
Right, because he shorted. I'm assuming you shorted Tesla.
Well, he's saying the tiers on Elon's company.
Okay.
Yeah, so he crushed that one. That was my biggest loss right over there.
Look at this break. It was actually a breakout early that failed the breakout, and once the breakout was failed, it traded down the rest of the day. And these quantum names, remember, it's the back and forth of is the U.S. government investing, are they not investing, and what the you know what. But look at they're making higher lows, but there hasn't really been what I would consider to be like a strong up day on the bounce. like, yeah, it's higher from the low, but it gaps up and then trends down, and then it tries to break the prior day high and trends down again. So, like, this doesn't look all that good at all. And Joe Mama in the chat, Sean, did you use your gift?
Yeah, he basically just brought some food. So trying to share that over here. So we want to say thank you to everybody.
Thanks, Joe.
I left some of those on Ramin's desk.
Yes.
There you go. She's not in today, so I put in the chat that you left some of those, and I just
what do we think about?
That was nice. Thanks for stopping by, Joe Mama. I hope your car did not get towed.
That's always important.
Okay, what do you think about entering long Chewy? Okay, well, I've got a dog. Let me go have a quick little look here. We actually bought, I think my wife was getting some toys. There's some unique toys that our dog likes there off Chewy. And I've definitely given some money to these guys, not enough to make the stock dance or anything, obviously. Not buying the company. I want Ryan Cohen over here. Isn't Ryan Cohen in Chewy still, or is the CEO or something? So $31 right here. What was the question? Do we think it's a long?
Do we think it's, yeah.
I mean, well, first of all, okay. Remember, we like names that are falling into the 50 period and the 200 period. Right now, we are not into them. We are well under them, okay? But what I can tell you is these are some really good areas of support, because you just have to sort of think about how far do you have to go back in order to see where the support is, right? So you've already gotten hit a couple times now, right? So what goes up, reversing's back in. The last time we were down here, we popped up. Then we were down here again, we popped back up. You know, people say 3 times the charm. I don't think I would try it here. I may wait to think about Chewy between 32 and 33, right? And then you can even use that wick down there of 29 to get out, 10%. Basically, right? And I just think if you're swinging something, if you're trading in options, get longer dated ones on Chewy. It doesn't really look like it wants to go. Remember, this still could be a meme stock at some points. So I don't want to.
8% short flow too.
Okay, you already looked it up. So Neil just exactly what I was thinking was, what kind of short flow was it? Neil, you might have not heard him. He just said 8%. So for me, I think there's better names to look at right now than Chewy. But I do like where you're going, looking for something a little different outside the box that maybe potentially we haven't talked about in a while.
The sales is like 1.
Why not go to GameStop then?
Oh yeah, that's.
So this is look how good this stock looks. You know, I'm not going to be Jim Cramer and tell everybody to get the hell out of GameStop. Like this looks like a great level. And you do have the capabilities of this kind of an action. Now remember, they just dropped some warrants last earnings, where it was if the stock gets to, I think it was 36 or something like that, they get exercised. I believe that's what it was. Could be off on that one. But so now that you know they have to pay for those. So now that's come off. You know, their last earnings did spike that level into $28. But if we liked it off their earnings call, which I don't think was that bad actually, I think they turned EPS positive. On that one. Plus, I do like it. Like, we sent my trading cards. My kid had a Pokemon card. We talked about this. He still hasn't. We sent it in August, or was it August? Maybe even July. We haven't even got it back yet from PSA, but we're still tracking it. So I just think if GameStop does, and I believe there was some sort of talk about GameStop opening up a online sort of auction place or whatever for sports cards, or authenticating and things like that. Plus Bitcoin, plus all that. Plus, technically, I mean, these levels look pretty good, right? You got to go all the way back to March before we actually even thought about break $20. So you can get this long at 22. We talked about 10%. I like this way better than the way Chewy looks. Both underneath though, so take that for what it's worth. I'll give you a 2 for 1. No on Chewy, yes on GME. And I don't know the last time I looked at AMC, but
forget AMC.
The dilutions in AMC were way too much, man. They just kept on selling more shares. And
looking for some. Well, I love this Friday analysis.
We should do this every day, though.
We should. Well, Friday specifically, because I find it's the one afternoon that usually has the least clear opportunities. If there's no small capper running, which, by the way, that WGRX was really good off $1. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It was almost as good as earlier to just trade this back through when it held $1. Looking for analysis Jack wants on CLS and SNDK. So let's go to Adair. So Celestica.
Adair just sounded excited there.
Yeah, let's go to Adair for a second. We'll come back with Celestica.
I mean, this is pretty exciting, Sean and Neil. This actually is a small cap here by the name of ASST, or Strive Inc. We've certainly covered this name before on the small cap recap or potentially in the midday show as well. This broke out over the $1 level because an individual by the name of Mike Alfred said that he's taken a more than 1 million share stake in the company. Now, if you're thinking, why does Mike Alfred maybe sound familiar? This is the same man that, as I mentioned earlier, tweeted about OpenDoor today and said that he thinks that this is the bottom and the next level of interest is going to be $25. So Mike Alfred of OpenDoor fame now saying he's taken a initial position in ASST of over 1 million shares. Back to you.
So the thing about Celestica is joining an upward trend that's this linear, like, spooks me this high. Because remember when Microsoft had like such a very clean, distinct, like you could, like, I don't even need to bother. Like, it just draw a line of best fit and you can't screw it up, right? Like that's, like that is ridiculous what it's doing. And it's not really, wow, actually I drew that pretty well. It's not really going too far in either direction off of that line. Like it'll drop less than 5 to 10% under, maybe 5 to 10% over this line of best fit. And at some point, a pattern like this will stop. And when it does, it tends to not look that good. This is not, like, Microsoft didn't do it for as long, but like Microsoft had something very similar where it was just on a very clear trend. And the second it deviated from it, it ended up being the end in a bad way. And you didn't want to buy that breakout. Ultimately, Microsoft settled down, potentially breaking out again here, but that's a different story. So I could not chase Celestica. Like, it's fine and it's a good company, but like, come on.
It's
just gone. It's just way too far. And so many stocks look like that too. So it is what it is. Man, another super chat. Okay, I guess this is how we're rolling today.
Oh, good. At Neil, perfect. I don't have to do anything.
I'd love to hear what you think of this constant buying at today's lows on SCNX. Okay, well,
that was news about that, right?
No, but that's the one we were talking about. It was yesterday. Was it this morning? It was yesterday. No, this one was yesterday. This was the one we were talking about yesterday. So I don't think, like, constant buying, I would make the argument that it's not necessarily constant buying. I think they're just holding. So look at the highs from yesterday, like right around $1.50. Like it halted up there. When it's halting and you have levels like that, like it's exponential, like it's just going crazy. So you can't hold anything to the penny. Like the area was $1.50, and then when it broke out in the afternoon around $1.50, like it never goes more than 10 cents either direction and then explodes. So today there seems to be support at a key level from yesterday, and when you have. Like to me, it went there once and made a bottom. Okay, fine. So in the middle of the day, you expect things to potentially catch a bid. It did. But this last drop was a liquidity grab. Like, you look at how quickly it breaks the trend. And when it breaks trend, I look for two places, like where there was support before and VWAP. Couldn't hold VWAP, so it holds where there was support before. I don't know that it's tested it enough times, just be like there's a big buyer down there. But a couple of times today, $1.50 has been good. So you trade off, if you're trading this stock, you trade it off that until you don't. Like, I treat that the same way as Beyond Meat, which I'm going to look back at. Now it's not back at that low. Like, it held the 2-quarter once and couldn't really break out 250, so I took it out 245 a couple times up there. So I'm just looking to see if it gets back down there, does it set up at 225 again? And if it sets up at 225 again, then I probably go long on Beyond Meat. Whether or not that means this is the level to hold because there's buyers down, I don't know. It just did the first time and it did a second time, and if it does a third time, then I'm going to try and be involved. That's all. Just trying to take a trade there.
Wow.
So let us know what else you guys are watching. Someone saying Nvidia pumping. What else?
Yeah,
What's AMD do? But AMD is the one we should be watching.
We are
Nvidia.
Pump City.
AMD's not moving actually. Okay, so maybe it is Nvidia.
Okay, so we didn't get out of it all.
What is going on? Something happening in Nvidia.
I honestly don't think anything's happening there, man. I mean, I don't mean to say that just for jokes. I just think it's just going off. Oh, here, that's the TQs. We got stopped out a little bit there.
The chart's distinctly different from what I didn't
want to get over it. Yeah, no. 100%. I just mean, like, with the AMD, like, it's just, I'm not hearing anything. I tried to search it up. I mean, if you guys are hearing anything about NVIDIA, I think it's just technically, like, I just think it just broke these levels. It broke the day's high. I don't think it has memory about these levels. I just think it's right into there. Traders looking to maybe, try to find something. I mean, the market's up 1% right there. There's the break on Nvidia, and I of course say AMD because I meant to look over here. So it's just funny how the market chooses which name it wants to anoint, like as the runner. Like I don't know. Someone said, "Oh, Amazon POS," basically, and let me see what's going on here with Amazon. Yeah. So you see what I mean? Like this is why trading is such a. I mean, obviously we think it's difficult. I mean, you guys are trading there. You guys know it's difficult, but it's like. Some stocks hold certain levels and some don't. And
market ticks up and this stock loses the bid. It's been strong all day.
It's just like, you know, so sometimes you're just fighting.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're just fighting whatever forces that you don't really know about, which is why it's power hour now. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I think that's why it is important that we look at like ION Qs and, you know, Neil already looked at this, but names that are running around a little bit because that's where you get that ASST one. Yeah, like names that are just doing things that we can wrap our heads around instead of just like, well, there goes NVIDIA. Like you could jump on the bandwagon, not the bandwagon, jump on momentum and play it to the high side. Like what Obi was saying, like if buyers are buying, like I want to be in there and buying with them, and sellers are selling, I want to sort of sell with them, right? I mean, it's not, at the end of the day, it isn't really rocket science. It's just science. And there it goes up to the upside, 186.50, taking it out. Like, so now I have to ask the question, like, do you join this party now? Do you wait for a pullback? Do you keep playing, you know, with this name? Apple was like dead to rights early while the market wasn't doing this, and then Apple just takes off again. Are they trying to find a bid? Or do we just slip over to AMD and say, okay, if NVIDIA's ripping, maybe this one hits next. We bounced off VWAP a couple times here. Maybe this is the one that gets going very soon. All right, we do have Adara. Let's see what she has to say.
Yeah, Barrick breaking higher here. Barrick Mining, B is the ticker for this one. Newmont NEM, which reported earnings last night, is reportedly eyeing a deal for Barrick's Nevada gold assets, as being reported by Bloomberg. So again, B on watch after Bloomberg reports that NEM is considering a deal for Barrick's gold Nevada assets. B, back to you.
Oh, it's Barrick Gold.
Yeah,
I see.
You know, I'm going to put a ticket in for that. No, because B used to be Barnes Company, Barnes and Noble, and in our system, it's like you type in B, and it's still like you get the right stock. It just says the wrong company, which, whatever. I'll put a ticket in later.
Gotcha.
If you're at real trading, I have a certain philosophy about this, and it used to always like peeve me. Like, it's a platform built by traders for traders. You have to put suggestions in and say this needs to be fixed or identify a problem so that the back office can do it for you. And everyone just assumes, well, some other manager is going to put in a ticket for that, so I shouldn't do it. And then like half the tickets end up coming from head office when we would make them, instead of other people seeing a problem and doing it. And I know I'm not going to call them out. Some owners that watch the show, office managers that watch the show that I know don't put in enough tickets, and some that do. But good luck there on Barrick. That is certainly.
It's just a support question, right? I mean, it's like if you. Yeah. Oh, well, there it goes.
Oh, shoot. And we have another super chat. This stock is flying.
This is the first super chat. What's up, Jag? That I think everybody's name is spelled correctly. It's not N-E-I-L. It's not S-E-A-N. It's not Sharif with two F's.
We can't mess up Joe.
Adara's pretty easy. Adara, you never get anybody misspelling your name, right?
All the time. All the time. I see A-D-E-R-A
I'm out of here.
almost constantly.
That's cat.
And honestly, I think that's the one I get the most, because for some reason, I think for a lot of people's brains, they assume Adara has an E, and then when they see my name Adara, or Adara, they assume it's Adara, right? They add that to it, so I think that's why. But anyways, I see it all the time, multiple times a day.
I guess A-D-E-R-A.
No. Who the heck? You speak, it's English. Nobody, A-D-E-R-A? It doesn't even look right. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. I'm just saying, like, no. I don't think I've seen anybody in our chat. I don't think I've seen anybody in our chat ever.
This is why I was ready to walk away, but
I don't think you guys have been fantastic. And I don't get mad if someone misspells my name, N-E-I-L. I get it. It's a more common way to spell Neil. But there's no other way to spell Adara, right? There is no other way, as far as I'm concerned. I'm just keeping it real. And then now all of a sudden, see, now people are just going to start spelling it incorrect for the heck of it. But thank you guys. It's a very kind super chat.
Yeah, you're saying that's going to be. I mean, that's the purpose of doing this. We already talked about like
A-D-E-R-A.
We wanted to try to give some of our experiences and some good talks.
Spelling lessons.
Yeah, I know CompuCare. I got to go. My family wants to go on I want to take my kids and everything on a proper vacation, like down south somewhere. but I want to bring the wife to New York, so I want to get on the floor and all that. So next time, I'll let everybody know if and when we're there.
You golf? You should go to Arizona.
Arizona.
There's a guy in my
yeah, but then I just gotta go. Like, I gotta go with a golfing group.
Oh, yeah. One of the dudes in my pool, my baseball pool, is from Arizona, and like, he's just like it's.
Yeah, Florida, like anywhere where it's warm, man. The golfing.
I mean, he says because I go to Florida every year for spring training, and he's like, I know it's fun, but you got to come to Arizona one year. I'm like, but I go to Florida because the Jays play in Florida. But he's like, Arizona's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just outside of Scottsdale.
Okay. You know what's trade? I mean, instead of shorting the futures all the time, you know what I was thinking about? I thought Intel at the 200 period moving average could be something. So I was wondering about, but see, it's just like, now the market's breaking higher again right now. They're just gone short. AMD ripped and should be taken long. Yeah, I know. I mean, everything, this is what I mean. It's like you're just, I was just remember I was like, okay, it's funny how the market chooses AMD or NVIDIA and maybe an AMD is about to go. Like I could have just made, it doesn't matter. Anybody could have made it, doesn't matter. Oh man, that's too bad. All right, well then, hey, maybe we can go 2 for 2 and say that maybe the next one that's gonna go is Intel. You know, breaking through some levels here. And I don't just want to get frustrated and like punch the buy key on just random stocks because I think they might go. But like that's too bad there. And AMD was set up perfectly. The worst part about trading is the hindsight because like, oh, I'm just going to trade off VWAP. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's the problem. It was 108 degrees in Scottsdale. That's like,
well,
I'm not feeling that.
But you got to pick what time of year you go.
Yeah, but
then they change. He says like you.
I don't want to go in there in the summer.
Like sometimes you do stuff in the evening, at night when the sun goes down.
I mean, it's just like Vegas, right?
You're a little bit different. It's just different how you got to work things. But I'm not a big golfer. That's why I was saying you'd probably enjoy it way more than I would because it's like a big golfing thing. But the funny thing is, the second you said, let's look for a chip name that hasn't gone, I was like, I wonder if ARM hasn't gone on this move yet. And like, oddly enough, and then you said VWAP and ARM's at VWAP. Maybe this is worth it. I'm just looking for something that actually is setting up for a potential trade.
I know, me too.
That's something that I would normally do. Not just, I'm going to do it for the sake of doing it, but like breaking out VWAP is at least something. So I'm going to have eyes on ARM. If this move up continues on the chip names, then I think this is one that could catch a bit of a bid. It's up 3% today. So we're looking for this. It has to break through 172. Otherwise, I'm not interested in chasing this. But let's go back. I believe Adara has support.
Next week is crazy for earnings, to put it very mildly. But guys, I can help you with a little bit of this fear. Check out ASST TTV Research. Here's our very packed earnings calendar. Also economic data. Of course, pending government shutdown resolution for a lot of these numbers. But either way, guys, tons of names here. We have 5 of the 7 names. We've got Eli Lilly, we have Verizon, we have Boeing, PayPal, United Health, and not all of these names are going to be on here. But if you're thinking, hey, an earnings name that I know is not on this calendar, guess what? I also put out daily calendars for each single day with these earnings and economic events. They're all going to be separate, and the earnings calendars for the daily calendar is going to have a lot more information. Now, those are released at 3 p.m. Eastern the day before each day. For Mondays, it'll actually be coming out at 3:30 p.m. today, so you guys are going to get that very shortly. Stay tuned. ASST TTV Research for all of this information. Back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Adara. Yeah, Adara's going to be doing the recap show. Steve Tileman should be joining today, so that should be awesome. Join Adara doing that today, and we say go Jays go with now first pitch less than 5 hours away. You will see Pharrell Williams tonight performing, and then you will see everybody's favorite, the Jonas Brothers, tomorrow performing. Adara, any comments on Jonas Brothers or?
I saw them live once, but it was not my volition. I went with my friend, but yeah, they're entertaining. I just was not expecting them to be there. That was kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, they're performing, and Pharrell's tonight.
Yeah.
So I think Pharrell probably a little bit better, but and then we have Cito Gaston, you mentioned, first pitch tonight, and then Joe Carter, your jersey. Tomorrow
I can't
night.
Turn far enough.
So,
Joe Carter, touch them all, Joe.
Yes, that was a great call by.
And thank you, Jag, for saying this. Can we also please thank Obi as well? I missed him in
Yes.
Yeah, of course. And we'll let.
No, we will not thank Obi. No, not at all.
And we'll let him know.
Not at all.
Someone actually.
Obi Jag says no, thank you.
No, someone messaged me and messaged us in the chat and was like, "I've been trying to trade like Sniper, like Arun, and can you let him know to
Like
thank you?"
Arun.
for his style. Like take one trade and kind of sit in all day, like pick your spot. And I was like, you know what? I haven't chatted with him in a while. I'll just send him a message to see if he responds. Because I used to go back and forth with him like back. And so he did respond. He said, I'm doing well, still trading, doing his own thing on the futures now. And yeah, he said thank you, which is gross because I was meaning to actually check in on him because we used to talk more. Now, obviously, like when he was trading, because I risk manage and I get to talk to him like at least like once a week or so. But yeah, apparently he's doing well. He's doing his own thing on his personal account, trading in the futures. I don't think his ARM thing is going to happen. It's like you just saw it in sequence. Micron broke out, Nvidia broke out, AMD broke out. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to chase one of those. Let's find something that could be next. And this one decides it's not going to be next. So thank you very much for doing nothing, ARM. Throw it on the side burner. I am still looking at that small cap, that WGRX from this morning after it held the dollar. It's 314, and it's now holding VWAP. So I want to see it. There's a seller right now randomly at 123. So if it holds it down here to maybe fill 115, 116 in front of the volume weighted average price, I might just take a shot there. It's not as clean as, like this was actually pretty clean right here. See this consolidation where you just consolidate, 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 and then when it breaks, just go long? I'd love for it to do that, but it's not doing that. So I have to try to grab the bottom of the range here in front of 16. So I'm going to do that. Look for it to maybe break into 130. I'm just looking for it to go off of this 115 into 130 and try to grab the bottom of the trend here. Because this stock has at least been working when it's above VWAP. More super chats.
Yeah, we have, okay, here's one here. I've been yelling Ford for the last 2 months. Good, man. Finally paid off plus 1,200. We like that one.
Get it, Ford.
All right, well, I hit that now. I can't see the comments. I'm an idiot.
Got to put that.
Oh, it's gone. Can you put that comment back up? Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks, guys. Okay, Hope Neil took Ford long. Still climbing and holding 40%. I mean, I could.
No, I look, man.
Could tell you where my.
We all talked about. We all talked about this, like.
I'll tell you where.
But like, it was never. I look again. We talk about technical trades all the time, and sometimes, well, I'll let you know when I take a technical. You know, I'll let you know when I took a swing in like UNH or something. But no, I'm not in this one. I wish I did, because we always say like if it respects your moving average, then you can trade off. The indicator has been really good for this stock. And not all the time, like there's some wicks underneath it here, but for the most part, it's like it doesn't spend like more than a couple of days underneath the 50 period before recovering it. So that has been a good support level. It was really more, like I'd be more regret the $12 breakout, because that was good twice. Like the breakout trade at $12 literally gave it to you twice, and this time you got to do it going into earnings. So congratulations to you on Ford. Yeah, I can't say enough. GM was definitely the hint that you needed to go into this long going into earnings. But yeah, we liked it. We just didn't like it enough. Adara?
Yeah, kind of an odd move to the upside here for Peloton. I only say odd because it's kind of reacting to a story, I guess, that already happened, but it's just being brought to light. Seeing an article here just came out from a website called Pello Buddy, I'm guessing that follows Peloton, saying that Peloton has quietly raised its prices. So people picking up here on price increases for Peloton, PTON picking up here to the upside on the stock, heading into that $7.90 level. Before this move up, we were trading around 764s, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy all of this content. Back to you.
It'd be interesting if maybe like if the squeeze names go again, maybe Peloton just goes one catalyst, and then because things have been squeezing in sequence, Peloton ends up next. What's the short?
I think it has a pretty decent short flow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna 22.21%, 22% short flow. That's still pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be interesting off an 8 break. Like I've been seeing all these ones go, and it's like, how many times do we see a technical squeeze stock breakout and I just don't take it? I might dabble in this one. Like 50 period moving average. If this is above $8 on Monday, why not? Like you're risking 10% to the 200 period moving average, and then you could grab it above the 50. So if I see this above 8, I might just take a shot. I have a bunch of cash above normal in my TFSA. Because of some stuff that I've been trimming, so I just feel like I want to put it to work in something, but I have not done so. And obviously, I had the intention of putting it into IBM and then failed miserably buying that dip because I didn't get any. Who's hurting more, Spy Bears or Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz.
I already said Carson Wentz. I mean, I have J.J. McCarthy, so I'm hoping Carson Wentz is hurting a lot, and he's proven that yesterday.
Spy Bears have a chance.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
do they? I mean,
Is Carson Wentz going to play another game this year?
Is he?
No. You think so?
I don't know how hurt JJ is. I have to look that up, but I don't know.
After last night, that dude's not playing again.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, no one's
look, I have
beating
nothing
Green Bay
against him, but
anyways,
like he had a great run on Philly, but it's just not gonna.
He's a good backup quarterback. I mean,
he's a good backup quarterback. I think that was his last chance to showcase something
yeah,
that
you
could
don't
have
get that
given
many
him another. No, he's gonna turn into Tyrod Taylor for the rest of his career. Just a dude,
which is great.
Which is fine. He'll make a bunch of money.
How much money
still and get a few more years out of it and squeak it out. But at least, like if you look at the Qs right now. If it's NASDAQ or SPY bears, okay, fine. We always look at the Qs, so I should put up the SPY when you ask about the SPY. It doesn't really matter. But like, how far are we from top? If somebody was shorting the tops, they're not out that much that it's over for them. So they've got a chip in the chair and a chance that maybe this is just a blow off top. Carson Wentz, to me, doesn't have a chip in the chair anymore after last night. I don't think either one are in a good position, by the way. I wouldn't bet on either one of them.
No, I'm surprised that the.
Just to be clear.
Last earnings season we had high 80s. I was gonna say 87 or 89, but I can't remember exactly of the S&P beat. So yeah, you're entering earnings season right now, and with tariffs, although obviously are still pretty unclear as to where those go, I think there's a lot less talk this earnings season as opposed to last earnings season about the effect of tariffs on especially some of these multinational companies, because it seems like no matter what Donald Trump says about China or Canada, which is just recent news as well, it can all be walked back, and one day this could be said, the next day something else could be said, then he gets advice from Jensen or any of these guys as well, Elon, so on and so forth. So as the market continues to bubble up, I think that earnings, as long as they come as expected, I really think the market continues higher, man. I mean, U.S. dollar weakness led to strength this quarter, so we're going to wait to see if that can pay off for some of these companies repatriating money back in on last quarter. I just want to see what, if I made sure I have my stop in there, because I'm switching up the game plan. These are all shorts, which means the market's going to tank now. I just felt like playing the momentum into the close might be the right thing to do. This is the 200 period moving average on the Qs, and we got hit there. I wouldn't say smoked, but we got hit there, which was bad. We averaged up into it. Into VWAP, it broke. But this is also the 200 period moving average, and it really has watched it all day, besides right here where we were covering. And then when we were covering so much that we could see that it didn't want to break lower. So I'm just going to give it another shot. It's at a key level of 111, right? So I'm happy trying this finally, flipping over, playing momentum into the close, and scalping out a little bit. Again, if we can get back up here, I want to really take out some of the tops. So we'll sit here. It's at 20 right now. So what are we long at? We're only long at 11s. All right, let's just put our 5% there at 20, and then we'll put another 5% at 25.
NVIDIA is really.
Yeah, like NVIDIA is still going. So like, can the market lift with NVIDIA? Hopefully the answer is yes.
On nothing?
For my sake. There's the dollar, by the way, flat today.
On nothing. Like, there's nothing specifically happening with NVIDIA right now on a random Friday and busting away from 185. And
the accounts are at all-time highs right now. I mean, these are
bizarre.
How bizarre? How bizarre?
I haven't.
Yeah, no, I think
that's got to be 20 years old.
You know a name I like? I was thinking about this. I was actually. This is another one that I bought. This is another name that I did not buy, but was looking to buy. It was Samsara. I think this one has a good opportunity to get going as well in the communications business, Internet of Things. I thought this was a good one down at the 50 period moving average. It got really smoked all the way back down in, and I think their next quarter they could turn a profit. Watch this name, man, IoT. So just a little bit of a little tidbit there. I'm looking to buy. I put some bids down here. I never got filled, like I said. I started putting the bids in when I saw that last red candle, and then wanted to buy off some 50 period moving averages. This is another name that I like. I think it has Palantir-esque up qualities about it, meaning that they're just trying to turn profits. Like here, if you go into IoT right now, let me show you guys. Actually, you know, one thing I don't think I did when I put the order in was look at what the short flow possibly was for IoT, so 7% short. And if we go over to their calendar, you're going to see here, so just right now, EPS just starting to turn right now into the profitability side of things. 1, 4, 4, 3, 5, 7, 11, 11, 12. Estimated 12, 12, 13, 14. So if we can beat these, I really think, look at the revenue finally starting to turn, right? I like Samsara here. So let's wait to see what winds up happening with this name. Just a longer term play that I think if you're looking to do something, I think you can get some juice on IoT. You guys let me know if you like that or not. Okay, who's gonna win the World Series? Pretty easy decision here. Blue Jays, obviously.
What do you
if you vote
expect us to
Dodgers,
say?
then
You
you're
know
probably, I mean, they're the favorite. So I was gonna say, like, if you wanted to play safe, I think the Dodgers have -200 or something, which I think they're like -230. Good, but the thing is, the Blue Jays have the Dodgers beat on many metrics, except for pitching. Like the Dodgers pitching is
their
insane.
pitching staff is absolutely.
But I think we're better
starting
hitters,
Bo
contact hitters.
at second.
Oh, is that what they said? I know he got added to the roster. I don't know, man. I thought he looked a little sluggish yesterday. We'll see.
I'm a little surprised we're starting Bo. He's hitting cleanup and he's starting at second base. He's never played a pro game at second base before. Imagine that. He's making his debut. He's a shortstop. He should be absolutely fine. Obviously.
No, I'm not worried about the defensive side.
Man, the Dodgers are a ridiculous team. Like I'm a diehard baseball fan. So let's be real. I've been playing fantasy a lot. I know how good the Dodgers are, but I'm also an irrational homer for the Toronto Blue Jays.
But that's not irrational.
But that being said, our offense has been much. If you actually look at how most of the Dodgers superstars are hitting or not hitting, Freeman's not hitting right now.
Baseball's a very streaky game.
Will Smith's coming off an injury and he's not hitting right now.
They have Will Smith? Oh no. Yeah. What if Men in Black and all that stuff? What if he like zaps all the memories of the Blue Jays and then all of a sudden we forget our symbols, our signals? I was telling my wife my favorite recent Chappelle joke. He was talking about the Will Smith incident and someone asked him, like, what would you have done differently from if it happened to you instead of Chris Rock? Oh, and he's like, and he was like very honest. I love about Dave, but he's so honest. He's like, I don't know. I've never been in that situation. But I promise you this, Will Smith would not have sat down and enjoyed the rest of his evening. And like that's easy to say after the fact.
But you know what? That's the thing that pissed me off the most about that. Is like when that got pointed out after, I'm like, yeah. Everybody else acted like to Will like that ish didn't happen. That was like normal. Yeah. Like it was normal. Like allow this guy to sit down and chill and then act like you could just celebrate and clap for him when he wins an award later. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? You literally just slapped the dude on stage. No one gave him a screw face look. The problem is like there's so much talk about mental health and that, and it is a very serious thing. Well, because maybe but I'm just saying, you don't have to clap for the guy. Like you just watched him walk up and whap. It's literally assault. I mean, you do. Like I'm not clapping for that. You do that in public to somebody. You go to jail. Do you? I know I'm going to. Well, come on, son. I mean, me or you, yes, but that being said, if you run across the street and give a Superman punch to a random dude because your friend's getting filled, you might avoid jail time though if you do that specifically. Well, you always got to get caught. Someone has to catch you doing that. This guy did this on camera. You got that reference, right? Yeah, of course, I got it. Yeah. I've never done that before. Yeah, it's battery. Okay, anyways, who cares? We don't mean to be talking about the judicial system. Never given a flying. Is that Amazon? Amazon a few up. Okay, so we can have a look here. Amazon's not at that price. No. Yes, it is. 224. My bad. Okay. Yes. So yeah. But it's. I mean, this is the thing. Like, it's easy to say yes because look at VWAP here. It's the blue line. You know, it's absorbed it. It's fine. You're always look. These things are going to happen, right? So if you're taking it, that's 223.40. It goes down to 222.90. That's 50 cents worth of a gamble there that you take, right? I mean, if you take that VWAP there, and again, time frame means everything. So if you take this trade here at 223.40, you never know how far to hold it, but if you hold it back down to previous lows, you probably don't get out, and then you have a huge win. So that's worth 50 cents worth of risk. You got $2. So I would say yes, worth it. But we only now have, I'm long the futures here because I'm just playing the momentum. We talked about that. We said like when there's buyers, just buy. I'm not trying to make things, Neil asked me if a sophisticated trader, remember that? So right into here, I would say yes, but with only 20 minutes left before imbalances,
you know, you're just putting yourself at risk of there be some sell imbalances today, but I don't think there will be. The market's up 1.2%, and the ES is also up 0.95. Let's have a quick look at some of the other markets right now. Yeah, look, to me, yes, the market's up. You could try VWAP. I just don't know if there's enough time left to be looking at technicals.
That sophisticated, I just put it in the chat, that sophisticated trader thing had a chance to be the most epic intro to an ad read in the history of the show.
I think it was, after all.
Well, yeah, I don't think, we're not going to be able to top that one. We'll always try to make it interesting, but I think that was the best one. At least we try to make it interesting. Before we, we're going to go to Dare for breaking news, but I just want to quickly show you while I have my black chart up, so I'm not going to bother, just faster this way. On a 3-minute, you just had the first red candle since this rally from VWAP on NVIDIA. First set of red candles, so possible top being put on NVDA. Let's go to Adair for breaking news.
Yeah, here's the market, guys. It's going to be in watch here as we get a senior U.S. official saying that the bilateral meeting between U.S. President Trump and President Xi of China will, in fact, be taking place. Now, we know this meeting was super on the rocks. Trump would say that this meeting was happening and then say that it wasn't happening 10 seconds later. But Caroline Leavitt has now, yesterday already confirmed that this was going to be happening. It was on a schedule. Now we get more confirmation. So it sounds like, the bilateral U.S.-China meeting here between President Trump and President Xi seems like a lock as of right now. And that, again, that's scheduled for Thursday in South Korea as part of Trump's trip to Asia. He's set to leave tonight around 10:40 p.m. Back to you.
I guess they want to avoid that. Thank you very much there, Adair. I was just saying, 3 more super chats. Okay, can you throw them up there? Because or otherwise I can find one of them. There we go. Thoughts on SNDK? Go Jays, go Jays, go. Thank you very much. They're factory kids. That's an interesting one. Okay, well, we'll talk SanDisk. We got to come back. We got to go back to Adair for a split second, and we'll go to SanDisk.
Sorry, guys, I have more news here with China and the U.S. The Chinese embassy telling the U.S. to, quote, promptly correct its wrong practices. So this Chinese embassy responding here as, again, we get confirmation from a senior U.S. official saying the bilateral meeting between Trump and Xi is going to happen. We also have more comments from said senior U.S. officials saying that Trump is going to be entering into, quote, a significant peace agreement in Malaysia. The U.S. government is. Trump's also going to be signing critical mineral agreements on his Asia trip and signing economic agreements, including trade. So keep an eye on some of these rare earths plays. Apparently, Trump will be signing a critical minerals agreement. MPA is one of these names, AREC, I believe. Another one of these names, USAR. There's quite a few tickets to look at. More comments as well from the Chinese embassy just coming through, saying that the U.S.'s actions have done serious damage to China-U.S. ties, as well as economic and trade relations, saying that China opposes false allegations and related investigation measures. Back to you.
I thought that was all like good news, and then at the end it sounded like bad news.
Yeah, it seems very mixed to me.
I don't know. We're still long in the futures.
But look, just for SanDisk, this is one of those it just feels like it's too much, man. Like if it's not a blow off top yet. So if you look at this, I have a weekly chart up just to put this into a little bit of perspective. On a weekly basis. Oh, here comes VWAP. I just finally got filled, and it just bounced off VWAP on. I'll show you guys what just happened. I just got filled on the offer of WGRX, and then the second it popped the offer, it just went back downside. No, like this chart this week is the biggest weekly candle in what has been an absolutely ridiculous run. So to me, that is an absolute ring the register type of situation. Like I just could never wrap my head around buying anything up there. But what I do want to point out is this is something we've talked about before. And look, I'm not in this stock, and it is what it is. But when you have this type of a top on a higher time frame, right, like you get the sharp pullback and then it grinds back, this kind of setup, like that rounded double top breakout, it's a great looking breakout. Maybe you meant today, but this feels like an obvious ring the register moment. Even parabolic kind of calmed down, then another parabolic move, 7% short float. I almost think there's a big reversion coming. Newegg did had a pattern like this too. Come on, daily chart. Load further. Yeah, like Newegg had a pattern like this where it's like grinding, and then the biggest parabolic move happened late, and then that was the top. So like I could never be a buyer up there when I see something like that. So I'll stay away. WGRX. Now I'll show you guys.
Yeah.
Here, now I can show you guys. So WGRX had just started filling off the support level. And then remember, my stop was under VWAP and my long, so I'm like, I just reloaded it. And in the same grab of reloading it, it then liquidity grabbed the volume weighted average price. But I had a stop in, so what are you going to do? And then it goes right back higher. So that's what happened. But my long was in there, my order was in, my stop was in, so it just kind of all happened automatically while I was talking to you guys. So we went 1 for 2 just now on WGRX, and I probably won't get back in now.
Oh, Nicholas, you're such a funny guy.
Now we have to, okay, fine. We walked into that one for sure.
Cash out.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, I want to talk about this, but like Nvidia was not up 2.5%. You know, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't know when you got these calls. I don't know what's going on with that. So, like, without a little bit of information, it's hard to give you the answer. But, like, this move was pretty parabolic. I'm assuming the options went similarly nuts. So the only problem is, and Adara just sort of, and by the way.
Thank you very much, Adara.
Yep.
You know, if we're talking about China right now, which he currently is, and.
China.
Whoa, there's the split. You know, is there a world where, you know, some negative talk happens? They do not come up with a deal. It does not go as swimmingly as potentially President Trump hopes or President Xi hopes. We hear about some rare earth deals, obviously. Hopefully that can calm the waters a little bit if they can get that all organized and they don't have to worry about cooking oils and things like that. But I would say that, yeah, I would cash out. But it's not. We're here, we always have to make sure, like, we don't tell you, like, this is not financial advice for what you guys should do. This is our opinion based on, you know, things that we're looking at on the charts and everything like that. We don't have any information. I just know that, like, if you're trading options, to me, that's a parabolic move into the close. And there are traders with 0-day options that I guess need to expire right now. It's Friday. So I would say, like, you may get some exercised options here even at the end of the day if it's not too late. I don't know. When does 0DTE stop operating on the, it's not 3:30, is it? I think it's before the imbalances anyway.
It
is. 3:50. It is 3:30.
Well, no. It's before the imbalance.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, like, you know, maybe that's what this move was, but I think I would get away from it if I were you guys. Okay, so or get off of them and take your profit, but I don't know.
We missed a super chat that I got to get.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly here, we were just getting into the 200 period, so we just went a little longer there on the futures because of this drop down in. Is there finally, like I told you, like we're finally going to go long. We got some out near the highs of the day and actually made new highs on our tick, so we're pretty happy with where we're able to get out now, but this is coming back down, and I'm not going to hold this more than 10 cents. So breaking through 110.90, we're out. Let's just see if it wants to work out. Of course, the minute we stop fading the high of the day, this happens.
Trade desk is tanking.
So yeah, woe is me again here today. So I don't know. Just hoping for this day to end. Yeah, the trade desk.
Something's happening on trade desk. Adara, trade desk.
Yep, she's got it. What's up?
Yeah, apparently, I'm just seeing here, Grindr has received a buyout offer from 2 members of its board. Proposal pricing the stock at $18 a share. Keep an eye here in GRND. This already pushed higher. So again, this could be older news, but I'm seeing it recirculate now. So I do want to let you guys know. People on social media are talking about this. Grindr reportedly receiving a buyout offer from 2 board members, valuing the company at $18 per share each. Just see, again, keep an eye on the stock here. Could be news that was announced earlier, but it is circulating right now on X. Back to you.
Okay, if you can, Adara,
Grinding higher?
I don't know what the story is here with trade
I did
desk,
hear something in my ear about
I heard
TTD.
something in my ear, but
It's Amazon. So it's Amazon. Here's the story right here. This is the story. It's not directly about TTD. It's this one here. It's
gotcha.
Amazon offers
That's why.
free DSP face-off for media buyers. This is what Trade Desk does. They get the ads into your website or any promotions and things like that. So there's something about this story that is that they're not liking, right? Someone asked us, hey, would we buy Amazon off VWAP? I mean, here's like a story that we can't control. It's starting to move up, but not that much. And then,
by the way, Trade Desk, someone has been selling this stock at $55 for literally 3 months now. Someone has been selling at $55 on Trade Desk. It cannot break that price. It's just been rejecting over and over again. Mike, I promise we'll get to your super chat, but we got to go back to Adara.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting the Super Chat talks. I do want to get more into the details of TTD because I have started to read through this article. So basically, Adweek reporting that Amazon is pushing to expand adoption of its demand-side platform, that is its DSP. So apparently what it's doing is they're offering some agencies free head-to-head testing of its platform, which is Amazon DSP, against its rivals. So this is according to a pitch deck viewed by Adweek. So basically Amazon DSP is saying, hey guys, we will literally do head-to-head testing with our platform versus other ad platforms, likely why this is such bad news here for TTD. And apparently in one email exchange that I guess of Amazon's pitch, they told an agency that they would pay the bill for the competitor's ad inventory. So Amazon getting very aggressive here with their ad strategy, and TTD in turn moving aggressively lower. Back to you.
You cannot. We talked about this. Like, you know, you want to sell, you know, over-the-counter prescriptions, and you want to deliver them. Well, if Amazon says that they're going to do that, then you've got yourself a problem. So right now, I think that is a problem for the trade desk. The trade desk has been quite a crazy stock on the daily chart. I mean, this is what happens. Something about Google, and you know, it's just like they're just fighting a game that I'm not sure.
And what's crazy, when you see that double bottom, you know it wants to break out that 55 level, but look at the wall of selling at that price.
Even goes all the way back to March. So
yeah, like if it can't break that, does it go back to those lows? And Mike had another question about SoFi, and it was, SoFi. Thank you. That was Williams. Mike Williams. Made money not holding it for more than 24 hours over the last few weeks. Up and down, but today is surprising. Going into earnings with an up market, it never pushed past the early day high. Okay. So it just comes down to, I'm going to end up repeating myself a little bit here, but sometimes there's just sell volume on a stock, and you can't speculate who, you could speculate as to who might be doing it, whether it's post-earnings profit taking, maybe it's somebody who built a long position, is unwinding it, maybe, who knows? But somebody has been actively selling this every single time it gets up near these highs. So the daily chart shows it to you. This shows it as well. The only thing is distinctly different, I've been knocking on wood every time I say it, is this time, late in the day, it's above that 29. So it looks like it's going to close above 29 bucks for the first time in quite some time, which makes it a little bit different. So like I'm thinking, I wouldn't treat it any, like personally, like taking profits work for you, then why wouldn't you just do that? I haven't traded SoFi this week. If you've been doing so successfully, then you should be reading, you just go for your own read. The only thing I'm thinking about is now that it's held 29, suddenly I'm going to like a breakout or a long better next week, because it seems like there's been some exhaustion of the selling in this range. So it's not breaking out with the market today, but it is holding an important level, and all that could be out the window if it's gapped underneath 29 on Monday morning, then I won't care. But it's finally above that price and looking like it wants to close above, so I'm glad it's going to. I should have already done this because it's 340. But the early look imbalances that's from the morning, so who cares? Citigroup, very small, 1.4. Rocket, 1.2 to the sell side. Kenvue's there every day and never means anything, 1 million to the buy side. Ford, 900,000 sell, but for Ford, that's a pretty small number. Ford is a huge float, so it needs to be a really big imbalance for Ford. Merck, very small. Lumen, that's from the morning, so no good. Yeah, pretty much nothing doing on the imbalances. Maybe you see a little something on Nvidia because of the recent run it had, but we'll have to wait 8 minutes before we get that. That trade desk, however, sort of thinking about, like, if this could be a continuation play on Monday. If I'm thinking about what's setting up for Monday, like what do I want to throw on my iPad so I look at that chart when I sit down in the morning, it might be the trade desk. Because if there's a seller already at 55 and then you just got that piece of bad news, then I'm thinking there's more that this could fall on Monday, like flat bottom through 52, room down to 50, and then to 48. It sucks if you own Trade Desk, but that's bad. That's really bad news for them. So I'm throwing down TTD, and then I'll just put like short. I'll look at the levels on Monday, because for sure this is one, like the wall of selling at 55. Continuation short just seems obvious.
Yeah, we just heard about iRobot trying to pop upside as well. We're just waiting to get. It's like I can't win today. Like we went short the market, it did this, it went the other way. Yeah, iRobot. Wow, what's going on with this one? This was a name that I thought Amazon. I was talking about this the other day with somebody, and I thought Amazon at one point. Yeah, okay, must have been. There was a bid for this name, and then I think the FTC or somebody came in and said no to iRobot. Yeah, it might have been right into here, I guess. Wow, what? Okay. I didn't have any idea that iRobot was.
No, the offer fell apart.
Yeah, I can clearly see that something fall apart here. But yeah, so okay. I mean, don't they make like those Roombas or something? But anyways, iRobot, I just want to see where we were coming from because we're back into these levels again for IRBT.
I think that was still under Lena Khan.
And it's now just starting to go right now. But there goes iRobot right now. I didn't realize this was a $70 name or whatever at one point, but trying to break higher. It's interesting because robotics is pretty hot, and I don't know, I don't think that they're, I thought they just made those Roombas.
Yeah, they killed it because there was no path to regulatory approval. Like I guess they knew they wouldn't get approval.
Why wouldn't they get approval for that? Why can't you buy iRobot?
No, but this was last year.
Right.
That would have still.
Like why would they have a problem with someone buying?
Because that would have still been under Lena Khan.
Yeah, but
there's no chance. What? No.
No, I know she nixed everything, but I don't understand like.
Yeah, but like
I don't understand why that would.
Yeah, she was way more harsh when it came to monopolistic and whatever. Like it was, for Amazon it was.
You don't want Amazon to run the house cleaning business. That is for sure.
Well, I imagine it would have a better path to approval now if they tried to pick.
Oh, in-house mapping. Oh, that would make sense. Then all of a sudden Amazon would know your whole house. Because like our Roomba knows exactly, like it just goes boom, boom, back and forth. So I guess it would technically, that's actually a good point. Maybe I shouldn't have a Roomba, but I have nothing to hide there. But
there's a certain trade-off for these types of things. And it's just like, you know what, you either accept it or you don't, right? I kind of feel like for a lot of the conveniences, it's not the end of the world.
Hey, Will Smith movie, iRobot. Will Smith. We were just talking about Will Smith.
I have beef with that movie because I'm an actual Isaac Asimov fan. So
they didn't do the book justice.
No,
or whatever?
iRobot is like it's actually a collection of short stories with an overall really cool theme and one of the best series of short stories that I've ever read. They're all super cool and have nothing to do. Like there's two of them.
They went too far.
There's two of them that loosely you can put together to somehow have a semblance with the movie. But the actual main two characters of the short stories it's nothing to do with it. There's basically these two engineers, and robots malfunction.
Right.
And their job is to figure out why it's malfunctioning. It's an incredibly interesting read.
But the movie is not.
But the movie has nothing to do with
I'll have to rewatch it. I wonder if that's good for kids, because I think my kids would probably like that.
Dude,
probably not.
Baxter would love.
Oh, Baxter. Forget about Baxter.
No, but Baxter would love that book.
Oh, the book. Maybe he's already watched it.
Super smart nerd programmer would love that.
Nerd. I'll tell him about that.
What?
Hey, Baxter.
That's a compliment, man.
You know, I know. I'm just playing.
You know what I'm saying? Like he would. I'm
gonna phone him.
That would be right up his alley. Anybody who's like, if you're an engineer, computer science, or a programmer, you would absolutely love iRobot, the actual book, not the movie.
I just want to see if he's watched it.
Roger Noonan, I'll answer this question because this is controversial to some people. How about Apple TV's Foundation? I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I enjoy it, but I've read the Foundation novels like 4 times. I'm a huge Isaac Asimov fan. I've read them. I've read them so many times, and obviously, it's an incredibly difficult thing to adapt. They can't possibly do it justice to the books. I don't think that can be done. I think it's entertaining, but if you're a huge fan of the books, there's no chance. Like some things are just got to read the book, man. Like that's what it is. Yeah, man, I wrote not too much. I doubt I'm not going to make any more trades. It's 3:47. We have 3 minutes till the imbalances come in here. And yeah, more work is being done behind us. I think that's Russell. Russell's chilling, doing some work.
Baxter's in a group project meeting.
Of course.
We did not answer, and he said, "What's up? Is everything okay?" And I just told him, did he read iRobot Isaac Asimov? So we'll see.
He's probably like, "Oh my goodness, something's happening." If you're calling me,
he did. He said, "Is everything okay?" He says.
No, because I actually have that with my family too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like if I saw my mother calling me during like show hours, I'd pick it up and run because I know something not good is happening. She just wouldn't call me while we're on air because she knows. Like it would be something big. I actually don't want to see her. Sometimes I don't. I love seeing my mom's number come up, but I don't want to see it happen while we're on air because I know it's not a good thing.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even Marissa won't ever call me. I call her 4 or 5 times a day while I'm here, but she won't call if I'm on the air. So yeah, good look there for sure. All right, not much going on. Oh, we do have those imbalances. Well, there's lots going on, but these are the imbalances that we currently have right now. These will update. See, this is from 9:30. So anything that shows the time 9:30 here is not going to be real. There's also seconds attached with this, but that part doesn't matter. So I just don't save some space there. At 3:50, these will all update. So we have 2 minutes to go, and then we'll be able to see exactly what's up with the imbalances, and then that should start to give some action. Wow, look at iRobot, still moving higher there. So I don't know if did we ever get a story there besides that it was a book? Yeah, so here we go. Nvidia, you asked what to do with those options. I mean, it's pulled back a little bit since then. We now have 1 minute left. We've just been sort of scalping out again, scalping out of these trades. The long is not going to work. I don't want to be long into this imbalance, so I'm trying to scalp out more and more here as we get back up to the high side and just get out of this trade. We're only long here at 97. It has not been anything worth anything really. If it does continue to rip up, I'm in the teens. Sorry, I'm up here 8s and 10s, and then maybe we rip upside. But we have now 30 seconds until we figure out our fate on this. But iRobot just continues to go higher. So we'll have to wait to see what's going on with that. But iRobot right now off to the races, IRBT. I'm going to put some orders upside a little bit just in case it does fill. And we do get a little bit of a move higher here on the futures.
Yeah, and so with 20 seconds to go, we'll see if anything pops off. Remember, the early look had nothing interesting, so I don't even have a symbol that I'm curious about in the next 10 seconds. Like maybe NVIDIA, like I guess I should just I'll throw NVIDIA on a level 2 in case something crazy happens there. Had the big run up. We've had mixed news when it came to China.
Oh, of course, it's the other way. Oh
and okay,
still
nothing stands out. There's nothing over a mil here.
There it goes.
Tesla. Oh no, there's Tesla. Tesla is $1 million to sell. There's that. Tesla $1 million to sell. Intel 875,000 to the buy side. That's really a nothing burger. So just Tesla. AAL is a 1.2 million sell. I guess that's a little bit of something, but very small. Oh, actually affected Tesla. Tesla actually to the downside there, about $2 or $3. The market's a 1 billion sell imbalance. Nasdaq 500 million sell. Dow 82 million. Meg 402 million. I'll just go back and double check, because sometimes, a couple seconds later, one of these other names will pop up a little bit late. Doesn't look like that's the case. Ford is the sell imbalance as well, 1.3 million shares. But as I said earlier, like Ford would need a it's on 277 million shares Ford today. It would need a pretty significant imbalance to move forward. You need tens of millions of shares. It might fall a little bit here just because it's at the highs, but nothing worth trading to me. I can tell you this much though, the trade desk this stock is going to be in trouble on Monday. This is, the way I feel about this is this. Yeah, it's same way yesterday we didn't like what SMCI was doing. It's like, how could you possibly like it? When the company has poor guidance, and it's like you can't give SMCI the benefit of the doubt anymore. The trade desk, somebody was already selling up here, and then now they just drop bad news Friday afternoon. Monday morning, I'm thinking short on trade desk. Maybe some news happens over the weekend, but this one does not look very healthy. It's only down 4% right now, and there's a lot more that this could fall, especially if the market decides we're getting a little top heavy.
All right, yeah, just to let you know what Baxter said here. He says, have read some Asimov. Supposedly the iRobot movie with Will Smith was originally a completely different script, and the studio just shoehorned the book's name despite having little to do with the original book.
That's exactly,
yeah, I don't even know how he knows that and how he writes that.
And the best part is, like, he said that more succinctly than I did.
Yeah,
thank you, Baxter.
I mean, he just literally
got a gift for it though.
Just wrote that there, so that was crazy. All right, so yeah, thanks, Baxter.
I should be asking him to recommend me science fiction.
Yeah,
novels.
apparently, I don't know. He knows a little bit.
I love
about
sci-fi.
So there you go.
Oh, shout out.
Is that Nimrod again? Who's that?
Yeah, it is. Is it?
Okay, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Nimrod. 20 Trader TV Live gift memberships. So I see everyone gobbling up. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And just a reminder to everybody, if you got the membership, and then you get this. So CHWY's warning note, this is today, so scroll up so you guys can see. At the top, at the earnings for Intel, Google. This is the right, might look at the right day. I might have pulled up the wrong, I know I did pull up the right day. That is today's. So you get this every single day. It's a more in-depth note. It gives you stocks in play and some notes on each of them. So thank you so much, Nimrod. And then a super chat as well. Oh my goodness, 3 months since interrogating you about. You did not interrogate us. We had to talk shop, like literally, like that's what people do. And helping me switch brokers and start options trading. Reached 150x, oh, sorry, 2.5x today, thanks to this team, an amazing community. Had to delay my visit, planning on visiting November 28th-ish with some Christmas spirit. Will you be around? Oh, no, that isn't.
Well, if it's, I mean,
no, that's U.S. Thanksgiving though. I'm off U.S. Thanksgiving. I took the Friday off.
Okay, but if he's coming around,
if you're there that
last
week,
time he came around like for a few days.
Yeah, if you're there for a few days, we'll be here. But that's U.S. Thanksgiving. The markets close on the 27th, right? So, and then the 28th is a half day. But thank you so much, Nimrod. Thank you for the membership. Thank you for the super chats, man. Like, just love the way that you pay it forward. But that's what it's all about. Like, we learned just as much from you as you did from us. You're like super generous, dude, and super nice guy. For anyone in the community that hasn't had a chance to speak to Nimrod, great dude. I think we have to go back to there. Only about 5 or 6 minutes to go, and we'll wrap up what has been a good week, and then let's go Blue Jays.
Let's go.
The show is brought to you by our friends at Trade the Pool. For too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines. But that's changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital, while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit that profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Back to you.
Thank you so much there, Dara. Aura Alpha just said there's a million bid on ASST. I hope we're not too late. Might be too late. I don't see it. Here, I can pull up ASST. Oh, Blue Ocean. You see how Blue Ocean is the first thing on my drop down? It's not, like, I don't always make that mistake. It's just I hit enter too fast. I don't see that mill on the bid. Oh, there it is. 105. That is a million shares on the bid of ASST at 105. As clear as day. Now 1.2 million shares on the bid at 105. I don't know how tradable that's going to be.
That was a...
I mean, like I guess you could, with 3 minutes to go, you could try to scalp off that, but unless you're holding into the aftermarket, I mean, you know what? Yeah, you could have just punched long. You could have just maybe punched like 7, 8 long. With only 4 minutes to go, it's just, like, whatever, not my cup of tea. The problem with large orders like that always gives me pause is a whale can throw an order in and follow, but then the second the market closes, they're like, that order's not there anymore because they're only open, it's only in the open market, but they just walked it up to 10s, it looks like. So they just walked it up to 10. So there's the million. It's a little smaller now. I saw 1.2 before. Now it's only a mil. 3 minutes to go. Good call out. Certainly I would not let that break. Like, if you're long in front, playing that game, I have a stop. Usually if I was doing this, I'd have a stop order, but I'd also be finger on the trigger to punch out on that order. Like, I wouldn't want to let it break. I'd be trying to get out as it's breaking. It's a million shares. If you can't hit a million shares, usually it's just say you can. I mean, let's be real. You should be able to hit that.
I just want to show,
only 3 minutes to go, though.
Even Nvidia, like, we did get that. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we got that chat, and I just want to show, like, remember we were talking about, like, what do you just want to play the momentum long in Nvidia or something like that? Well, you know, sometimes these levels crack, and there's a nice move to the downside. We also get something similarly happening in quad U's right here, Energy Fuels Inc., as that starts to go upside again. So there it goes, and then there's the pullback in for UUU. Again, all right, let's have a see where Tesla is at the end of the day. So, yeah, I mean, finally looking like it wants to break. We didn't break the 200 period all day. That's my trade off the open. Was not able to get green after that. But there it is right there. Oh, yeah, well, we actually did okay into there before we tried it again at 440. But it never took the 200 period until maybe right now at the end of the day. So if you're playing some sort of reversion trade or anything like that, you don't get the goods until the end. So if you were thinking about going long Tesla, maybe now might be an opportunity. So that would be something there, 434 and change coming through. So we'll have to wait on that one.
Seriously, SoFi?
SoFi's dumping as well right now.
It just cannot close above 29. The stock is haunted at this price. Literally haunted. Every single every single time this turns into a topping tail wick and it closed under 29. It's only got 2 minutes and it's losing the battle because why not? Somebody probably just jumped in and started. It was doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, like a sell program just kicks right in there, so it cannot hold 29 bucks. This was the problem. We had a question about like holding it. It's like, well, if something is happening over and over again on a stock at a specific price, then you know some big money's doing something. And it doesn't matter what you think of it. I love SoFi. I want it to happen. It just doesn't want to. So I think you're back to waiting for SoFi to just test 25, 26. As long as it does this, and then every time it gets 25, 26, buy it there. And then maybe we'll rinse and repeat this, and eventually it'll end up breaking out. Shouting out to everybody. Appreciate you, Michael Neal, and I love the fact that your last name is spelled the same way as my first name. Shout out to Shot Outs. We can do shots. Shout out to everyone in the online training academy.
Shot outs.
Shot outs?
Shot.
I'm not doing shots tonight. But if we win the World Series, that could be different.
Yeah.
I do, like, I'm not a big,
Look at the
like,
market tanking here.
I have a ritual for when if the Bills win a playoff game or clinch a playoff berth, I break out Blue Label after the game. That's one of my things. But if the Jays win the World Series, I'm gonna have to come up with something new. Because obviously I was too young to imbibe it. Well, okay. Obviously I was too young to imbibe anything nice back when they won the last time.
Yeah. David, you're going tonight too. Neil's going tonight. He's going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow. We'll see you there, David. If you're going to be there, 3, 2, and 1.
Bring it.
Wow, nice little move down in the market. Finally, we were going short all day until we were long, and then we didn't give anything up there at the end, but it does go to the downside right there. All right, man. Thank you, everybody. It's going to be a big sports weekend, whether or not you're a baseball fan or not. All sports right now kicking, man. NFL, college football, basketball is now on, NHL. UFC, there's a big fight, Joe was telling us.
Yes.
Enjoy your weekend. The market's been a wild one this week with many names going different ways. Tesla with a big move. Netflix, obviously, with a big move. Ford with a big move.
Intel
GM,
reversing
Intel, GEV, IBM's
IBM
move.
is maybe the most impressive.
We could just keep going on and on.
IBM is nuts.
Yeah, just stay safe, over the weekend, and make sure that you spend it with your friends and family.
And don't buy the trade desk.
And yeah, maybe do some research and maybe buy the trade desk if you want to. But DraftKings also down 5%. So lots of different things happening there with news.
Yeah, thanks, Chauncey Billups. No, just kidding.
Yeah, and
former Toronto
Terry
Raptor,
Rozier
actually.
as well. Former Raptor, yeah, was only here for a couple years, but was pretty good when he was here. Back in the day with Vince Carter and whatnot. So, okay. All right, man, enjoy the day. I know it's going to be a big one for you there. I'm off to the rink and then hopefully home for the 3rd or 4th inning. And I don't know if we'll see you tomorrow, but if we do, that's great. Isn't one of our friends going? Is that tonight, or he didn't wind up taking the ticket? Remember in the chat?
No, he ended up taking it.
Oh, okay.
It would have been tomorrow, but he didn't end up taking it anyways.
Okay, good. All right.
It's jokes because my wife looked up who we sold our extra seats to.
Yeah.
And it's like some Canadian comedian or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a Wikipedia page.
Oh.
I don't know why she was doing that, but we got extras in the outfield for the purpose of my roommate, who we share our season tickets with. We knew we'd want some extras, so we have ours and then we have his, and we've been selling them, obviously. But we're going tonight, and we're hoping for a win. Go Toronto Blue Jays, but don't forget, you got the market recap.
Go Raptors,
Steve
go Leafs.
Tileman will be joining a Dara special guest,
hold on.
as always. Here we go.
Will the Jays win tonight? I'm not going to ask you. I'm just going to ask you one game because, I don't want to jinx.
Come on, Magic 8 Ball. Throw this out if it says it wrong.
And I really wish it just doesn't. It's running out of juice. Uh-oh. I can't eat.
I think there's like a shelf life on this thing, apparently.
Yeah, I can't even.
It's not working anymore. I don't know why it fails so easily. I feel like back in the
I don't
day.
know, it's not saying anything.
When we were kids, these things lasted longer, I feel like.
Are you reading something?
No, I'm trying to read it.
All right, forget it. All right, let's go over to that. This was brought to you by BetaPro and Global X. It's your market recap show, and it starts right now.
Hello, guys. I'm so happy to be here with you guys for our Trader TV Live Market Recap show, brought to you by our good friends at BetaPro by Global X Canada. We have a lot to recap today, but I do want to remind you guys, our friend Steve Tileman from Trade the Pool will be joining us around 4:15 p.m., so roughly 15 minutes. And if you have any questions for Steve, please write them in the chat and tag me so that I can be sure to ask him once he shows up. And again, he will be making his appearance within probably the next 15 minutes. We're going to have a good 15 minutes to talk to him, ask him questions. I have some prepared, but I want to know what you guys have to say and what type of questions you have for Steve. But I mean, what a day, guys. We did have new all-time highs for the market after that CPI print. You can just look here. This is our calendar for the day. You can get these every single day at TTV Research. I usually post them around 3 p.m. The day before. So this one was posted yesterday, Thursday at 3 p.m. more or less. Let's talk here about some of what we had. PG, nice gap up here on earnings, probably the most interesting of these three earnings plays this morning, but it couldn't really sustain the gap, ended up trading lower for much of the day. But of course, economic data-wise, it's going to be even bigger here. CPI and core CPI month-over-month, year-over-year coming out at 8:30 a.m. Now, we were waiting forever for these numbers, guys. We were supposed to get them last Wednesday. Then, of course, because of the government shutdown, that wasn't going to happen, but the Bureau of Labor Statistics already told us, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put them out on this Friday, October 24th. We did get them, all four prints coming in 0.1% lower than expected, which is why we had that nice push to the upside in the market. Then we got some mixed data here for S&P Composite Manufacturing and Services PMI. Not super closely watched numbers, but at 10 a.m., we got the kicker, which was University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. Now, the consumer sentiment print a little bit below estimates here. The 5-year inflation expectation slightly above estimates, and the 1-year inflation expectation right flat dead on with estimates. Now, why are these economic numbers going to be so important? I mean, they're important in general, right? We want to make sure they're covered, especially when we have so few right now. But guys, in 5 days, we have the FOMC meeting where we will find out what color tie Jerome Powell wears, but more seriously, we'll actually find out if we get that 25 basis point rate cut, which more than 95% of market participants are expecting that we will get. It is highly likely that rate cut is going to happen. So definitely stay tuned, though. We'll be covering that for you. I'll be covering that for you guys live at 2 p.m. Eastern on October 29th, Wednesday. That's the same day we'll get a whole slew of earnings names. We'll get into those after, because first, I want to review some of the earnings names we had on watch today for earnings day one. I'm going to take a moment here to get some water. Shout out to Hydration Nation. Get those waters up, get those beverages up, and again, tag me if you have questions for our friend Steve Talman. Let's talk Intel, though. INTC's, you could see here, we're only expecting earnings of 1 cent, and Intel says, hey, I'll give you guys earnings of 23 cents per share. Obviously, at that point, it's not comparable to the estimate, but it's a significant boon for Intel, which is not known for being super great with these earnings reports. Revenue, they also beat estimates on. Now, their guidance was a little bit more tepid for the quarter, a little bit mixed. We're going to have to wait and see what happens here for INTC going forward, because they, unlike Tesla yesterday going red to green on earnings, Intel went green to red. Now, of course, as you can see here, Lip Bhutan still a pretty solid performance here to his name since he joined as CEO in late March 2025. This 44% to the upside is as of Intel's closing price on Wednesday, so a little bit delayed, but still a great look here for INTC Ford. Also had a stellar report here. Here's the CEO, Jim Farley. As you guys know, they did beat revenue and EPS estimates. Their earnings for their different segments, earnings and EBIT, for the most part, actually exceeded estimates. Now, their guidance here for fiscal 2025, adjusted EBIT, they already had to lower it from their prior guidance. They had to cut it a little bit more because, unfortunately, they did face that hit, which I think we already kind of expected they were going to be having to deal with here from that Novelis fire, and that is the fire at their aluminum plant. Now that we went over all that, guys, we're going to take another moment. Hydration Nation, make sure you drink that water. And again, stay with us, like, subscribe, and tag me, please, with any questions specifically for Steve Talman. But if you have any like news-related questions for me, I would love to answer those as well, because we're so happy to be here with you all. Now, I want to talk OpenDoor and I want to talk ASST. Now, what am I talking about here? If you guys missed these moves, OpenDoor and ASST both had massive pops today, and both of them kind of related to an individual by the name of Mike Alfred. Now, Mike Alfred is an individual who's part of that open army, as they call it. He's very bullish on OpenDoor and very active with regards to OpenDoor on social media. Well, he posted around 9:41 a.m., probably around when we get this kind of pop here, that he thinks that Open has bottomed out for now, and the next level of interest is going to be $25. Open certainly seemed to like that post. But then, even more interestingly, we get ASST, which is still moving higher, guys, in the aftermarket. Now, in case you missed it, I was very happy I was able to see this post right away. But Mike Alfred announces on his X account that he has taken a more than 1 million share starter position in ASST, which is Strive Asset Management. The stock pushes sharply higher as a result. So good look there for ASST and OPEN. But now I want to talk about not so good of a look here for our friends at TTD. That is the trade desk. Now, the trade desk and Amazon have always been a little bit back and forth here with ads. The trade desk I find is also a stock that tends to get hit really hard with any negative news catalyst. And actually, even though it just joined the S&P 500, as of the end of Q3, it was actually one of the worst performers in the index that it just joined. So that's not a great look. But you know what's even a worse look? Adweek comes out here with this story from Amazon, just saying that Amazon's demand-side platform, or Amazon DSP, which is their ad part of the company, they're apparently approaching some agencies and offering them free head-to-head testing of the platform. And according to some emails viewed by Adweek, who reported the story, Amazon's actually literally offering to pay or cover here the bill for the ad inventory of these competitors. So this is getting really intensive here between TTD and AMZN. As you can understand, kind of makes sense here why the stock did not like this story. Someone here asking about my thoughts here on UUUU. That was Ari Pages on this move up in the afternoon. We had a lot of talk here about these kind of rare earths related plays. Energy Fuels need to look up here as a company, see what they do a little bit more, but I know it does tend to move in tandem with a lot of these names. They're uranium and rare earths and critical minerals. That makes sense. So as I mentioned here, a senior official from the Trump administration basically came out this afternoon, once again saying that Trump and Xi will be meeting. That meeting has been super back and forth, but it does seem to be on, at least over the past couple of days. We've had quite a few comments suggesting that's the case. But with regards here to these minerals names, again, that senior White House official who confirmed the Xi and Trump meeting also said that these critical minerals are going to definitely be part of some of the agreements Trump's going to be signing while he's in Asia. He is leaving for Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to start that Asia trip, 10:40 p.m. tonight, and I'm not a stalker. I swear it's actually in his public calendar, which I also post a version of every day on X at DDV Research, so you guys can follow up with everything he's doing, especially because it does tend to be related to the market. Dinkelberg asking here, with the Nexperia China situation, could we see QCOM take advantage? Qualcomm, I need to look this up really quickly because I'm not familiar with the story. Qualcomm, a little bit of a rounded top today. Let's take a look at that daily chart for our good friends at QCOM as I Google Nexperia China to find a little bit more details here. Oh, okay, Nexperia China defies Dutch headquarters order to oust an executive. Yeah, that's an interesting look. I'm seeing apparently, from what I can tell, it looks like there's going to be more Chinese chip companies winning from the situation than it would be American, as far as I can tell. Again, I just looked up the story, so I'll have to be more familiar. But truthfully, Dinkelberg, as far as I can tell, immediately it's going to be a bit tough to see how a U.S. company could benefit from this type of catalyst, especially given the climate here between the U.S. and China, as just referenced. But look here, we have higher lows on the daily, so not a bad daily chart. Let's see if they can continue to push a little bit higher. And again, if you have questions for Steve Teilman, please tag me, add a Dara LePage in this chat, and I'll say hi to you guys here so you can see my tag. And then you can just tag me in the chat with any questions you have for Steve Teilman. He should be here pretty quickly, and I'm really excited to cover all of that, ask him all of your guys' questions for sure. There's the question on the chat there, as you can see here, Dinkelberg question right there on the screen. I need to look more into the Nexperia situation, but I think it'll be kind of hard, as I said, for Qualcomm to take advantage therein. Now, what other names are we going to look at here? Let's take a look at what Tesla did today, because TSLA, let's put it honestly, it got hit really hard today, and I mentioned, I actually reposted this on X as well. There is some research done, not by myself, but I reposted some research here suggesting that every day, every time, like Friday, on a Friday, that Tesla in 2025 has posted a red 15-minute candle to start, it's closed the day red. And today was no exception. We have this really, really stark 15-minute candle, and Tesla fakes a breakout of 450 before pulling right back in the same 15-minute candle. We have a high here just shy of 452 in this one candle, low of, I'm reading that right, low of 441. So that is a $11 range on this one 15-minute candle. And Tesla does end up closing red despite a really strong earnings day one performance from the EV company, which in case you missed it on Wednesday, they did beat on revenue, but they missed a little bit on earnings per share. Lots of questions here. Thank you guys so much. Someone asking me my thoughts on Ford. I'm going to save those perhaps for our friend Steve Teilman. And Jacob Savage asking me if I think Intel is going to rip next week. I already have some questions prepared as well for Steve Teilman with regards to Intel. But we'll take a look at the Intel daily chart for you guys. I would really like the news questions too, because that's primarily what I do here, right, is news. So definitely, if you have any questions about what type of news I look for, how I see news, how I'm able to get the news quickly for you guys, any type of tips, I'm always willing to answer those, and I actually welcome them. Yeah, Intel looks kind of right now like it's bull flagging. No advice, but I do think potentially if we can get over that 41 level, perhaps we push higher. Dangerous asking me, but my number one ticker I'm excited about for earnings. I don't know if you mean next week or going forward, but either way, the answer is Eli Lilly, which reports before the bell. I believe it's at 6:45 a.m. on Thursday. That'll be one that I'm really excited about. And again, you guys are going to be getting earnings calendars every single day from me at X at TTV Research. So you guys can keep track of all of the exciting earnings names that we're going to be getting going forward, because I think that'll be really fun. We're just about ready, I believe, for our friend Steve Talman. So keep getting those questions in there for me so I can ask him all those burning questions that you have. What's your favorite LLM to use for stock stuff, says Charles Lineback. Yeah, so my favorite is, I think I've said this before in the show, Perplexity, because if I have any questions, especially with regards to the infographics and the research I do, I find Perplexity tends to be the best at giving me answers. Now, I always fact check because I'm very fastidious and I don't really trust a lot of info just in general. I like to make sure I've seen it with my own eyes, but I think Perplexity by far is the best. I find ChatGPT to be a bit difficult when it comes to research. Sometimes it'll give me things that I know are wrong. Like, for example, it said the most recent Starbucks CEO was ousted CEO Laxman Narasimhan, and I said, that's not true. And they said, oh no, what is it then? And I'm like, okay, I give up with you. So Perplexity for sure. So TRBH asking a really good question here. Are you open to tracking drug approval dates for pharma stocks? Those are big money makers anticipating FDA decisions. I'm going to be honest, I have looked into this, and it's hard because I think there are so many in the space that I found it difficult to find a system where I would be able to kind of track all of them in a way that makes sense. Now, you might notice sometimes on my daily calendars that I post, I will have certain drug approval dates for major companies on there. Unfortunately, I don't have the small caps. As I said, there are so many, but if I can find a system where that works and if I have time to do that, I'm open to doing that. And as I said, I've tried to find a way to do this in the past. I think once earnings calms down a little bit, I think that's something I'll probably have even more time to go through. I'm going to take another water time here as we have our new friend, Steve, not our new friend, our old friend of the show. I don't know what I'm saying here, guys. It's a Friday. Steve Talman from Trade the Pool. I don't have the Trader Talk button, so let's roll him in. And we have Steve Talman, Trade the Pool. How are you doing today, Steve? How is your Friday? How's your week been?
Hey, Dara, good to be here. I've had an exciting Friday. It was an exciting Friday. I lost a little money today. I was banking on a bit of a fade, but what a great day for most people.
Yeah, it's certainly a great day for the market. That is for sure. I certainly can't argue with you there. So let's just get into it a bit. What were you watching this week, and what were some of, in your opinion, the best trades or missed opportunities in general for the week?
Oh man, I mean, there have been a lot. It's a little bit tricky. So I think that some of the best missed opportunities were probably the dip buys in some of the rare earths. We have USAR that filled the gap, and I believe, oh, well, now that I look at it, maybe this one's still on the table. I think this basket still has room. I'm looking at UAMY for next week as well. But as for this week, I mean, hey, if you weren't long, you were missing out. So this gap up here, I think the red day into support there offered a really nice buy if you were confident. And I nibbled, but man, I wish I went harder.
Yeah, nice look there for sure for that market. I think that CPI certainly was long awaited. Let's talk a little bit about Quantum. I know you just talked about rare earths, which is another one I wanted to ask you about, but I want to talk about Quantum because the back and forth in this yesterday from a news perspective was insane. I know it was kind of crazy from a stock perspective as well. So I have a couple questions here. I'll start with the first one. Did you trade any of these names, or were you tracking any of these Quantum names?
A little bit. I was scalping Rigetti, RGTI. That one just moved so well. So I had to get a little bit of the action there yesterday. But I don't own any of these anymore. I was a big QBTS and IonQ bull, and I sold way early. So now I'm just watching. I'm hanging out. I don't think they're done, but you know, I have to wait for support to come in. And what we saw today or this week on IonQ was a really clean catch of the 20-day here. So I think that they're still on board. It's just a back test of the highs, and we should push higher.
I actually have a follow-up question here for you as well, because I know as a swing trader, I know you do some swing trading, right? I think as someone, I'm not, I think our chat is probably a bit mixed, so I'm curious if you have any advice on how to approach these types of names, which of course are super news sensitive, especially as of late from a trading perspective, especially from a swing trading perspective, I guess.
Yeah, sure thing. So in general, I don't treat them too much differently. I'm still relying on my key moving averages, but I do like the weekly ones more just because there's going to be some more wiggle, some more volatility on these names. And so as long as it really holds these key levels, so for me, it's always the 20 and the 9 moving average. I got to watch those on any time frame. So as long as these are in effect, I think that this is the area where you're looking for buyers to step in, which is what we saw. So I would say just keep these really strong names on a watch list. Don't feel like you have to chase them up here where it's crazy, but they will come back down to an actionable level. And so we can watch this 50 next week on IonQ, for example. Something like that is what I'd recommend.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for going over that for us. I do want to ask you, too, about some of the earnings names we had this week. A couple were, I think, super big movers. We had IBM, Intel, Tesla, Ford. Were there any of these that you like at these levels that you think you'd maybe get involved in, or any of these that you have thoughts on in general?
Yeah, I'm watching Tesla very closely. So I I was long after earnings off the 420.69 level. I know it sounds silly, but it's really responsive, and it caught a really clean move today up to 450 right about. So now I'm just keeping an eye on the key moving averages that I have here. Sorry, my computer's taking a second to load, but this blue staggered line is really important to me. That's this in my system, it's the daily trigger. So as long as this responds next week, I'm really looking to get involved with Tesla and expect a significant move higher at some point in the next couple months, thinking 560 plus.
Yeah, I think also that 420.69, as much as it sounds like a joke, it's really not a joke, because Elon Musk has posted about the level enough that I think people have really realized there's something honest here, even when it made the all-time high. It actually stayed at 420.69 for a bit. So I think that it's a really good point that you brought that up. I do want to, for a second here, take a moment to read you guys a headline. I'm just seeing apparently Scope downgraded the United States of America to an AA- rating. If I get more details on that, I'll let you know, but I just wanted to keep everybody posted on that. Now, Steve, I made you go through a couple earnings names there, but I do want to ask you, going forward, we have 5 of the Make 7 names reporting next week: Meta, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple. Are there any you're watching heading into these reports? Which one do you think maybe looks the best and which looks the worst?
I would say for the best, for sure, I'm really liking Amazon. I think this one has a ton of potential, and it's looking like a tight chart here. We're getting the same look back into my key supports. We got the 50-day moving average. We got the weekly trigger here in blue. These are areas of confluence where, as long as we're finding buyers here, I would expect tests higher and eventually expansion much higher. I think that Jassie's management has people a little skittish, and while I don't love what he's doing in every regard, I think that this is an absolute powerhouse nonetheless, and you're getting a discount here compared to the Googles and the Apples right now.
Yeah, I like that you brought up Jassy, because I've seen a lot of commentary here with regards to how he feels about, or I guess how people feel about his management style right now, especially because he used to lead AWS, and they had that big outage. I see Apple on your chart here as well. What are your thoughts on this one right now?
Well, it is a beast, and I can't fade something that's making new all-time highs. I actually haven't looked at the chart for a minute, and I was looking back at these tentative wick-offs, or I'm sorry, Elliott waves, and it seems like we have room up here. So if you're an Apple bull, just keep an eye on the interplay at the all-time highs here. Often you will get some chop here. So if we do get a dip, I would be looking for support around, call it 250 to 245-ish to get involved in this name.
I really like that level. I mean, makes sense, right? I do want to also ask you here, we have a question from someone in our chat, Diaz, about how do you feel about Beyond Meat? I know BYND had that massive mean move. Was it something you were watching or playing at all this week?
Man, I don't know how I feel about it. This chart is like modern art here. These squeeze plays are wild, but I will try to approach it like I would a normal chart, which is it made a big, gnarly fake breakdown. It recovered, and now it's back testing. So if we just draw out a nice level there, just a rough level where there were previous lows, it lost, and it reclaimed in its back testing. So if we do hold this, let's call it 2 for the round number, up to 225-ish, I think you can take a shot at this. Size small. I think it's more likely that it comes down than it squeezes crazy, but you can never rule these names out. So I won't tell you don't buy.
Thank you for going over that one for us. I want to ask you as well, another question here from our chat. If there's any stocks that you hold long-term, how do you determine which stocks and what's a good amount, or I guess, or a percentage of the position to hold on to?
Great question. So I am a pretty skittish trader in general. I like to move around a lot. There aren't many positions that I just buy and hold. If it is something that I'm buying and holding, it usually is something that I'm buying very cheap in my book. So for example, I've been holding Intel since 24. I have trimmed at 40, like I said I would, but this is a long-term hold for me. I think there's a ton of room on this chart. The same for something like I was a big Uber bull down here at 47. So this is a long-term position that I'm never touching. Another good example would be something like, you gotta check my holdings. FRO is a good example. FRO, Frontline. This is a tanker play that I think has insane room. And I bought cheap, so I'm not worried. You know, just buy and hold.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, congrats on the Uber. That one especially, like, big pop. And they had news with Nvidia this week as well. So certainly nothing to slack about there. I want to ask you about another earnings name for next week, if I may. This is one that I watch a lot, at least from an intraday perspective. We have to talk about United Health, right? UNH. They do obviously have some headwinds, some concerns around them. There's a court case happening, which is not directly related, of course, but has moved the stock a bit. So what are your thoughts here on UNH headed into that report? I mean, of course, fundamentals on this matter, but from a technical perspective, how do you like it?
Well, I think this is another name that just got way too, I mean, it was a clean chart up here, and then it just got broken. It got way too oversold. People got really nice deals into long-term support. And now we are, if I put a fib here, I bet you anything, we're testing the midpoint. Yeah, just about testing the midpoint of this range. So this is the level we're going to be watching, this 375-ish zone. If we can push above this, we should have a date with this falling 50-week moving average and the 0.62 fib up at 420. So I would say that I'm cautiously bullish, cautiously optimistic on healthcare in general. I like a lot of charts in the sector, and this is not looking bad to me. This is looking like it's constructing a decent bottom after being way oversold to make a move back up to home base up in this range.
Yeah, thanks for going over that one. I think that 420 level, I mean, as much as we kind of joke about it, especially with Tesla, nothing to scoff at, that's for sure. I do have another question here. A couple people in the chat asking about your thoughts on Robinhood. So HOOD, recent S&P 500 entrant. How do you like this chart?
You know, this was actually the name that I was going to say that I bought cheap. Let's see, initially way low, sold it way too early, and then rebought on the tariff news, way cheap at 35. So this is another that I'm just not touching. I think it's a beautiful chart. It's a little messy because I traded a lot. But what can you say? This is what I would consider a Palantiring chart, where it comes all the way back up from a major IPO high, and then it just wants to keep going. So I have no reason to sell this. It's an amazing company. I will never be smarter than my moving averages, so I'll let them tell me when it's time to sell. If we start losing this 21 or this 20-week moving average, then I'm out.
I like that you made the Palantir comparison too, because both of them added to the S&P 500 in the same year. They just cranked to the upside. So I think that's a really apt comparison to make. I want to ask you one more question, if I may. So actually, this one comes from Haley and Michelle in our chat, but something I would have been curious about anyway here. What sectors are you going to be watching next week, both to the upside and to the downside?
Great question. So I think that there's some really good opportunities in China right now. I remain a massive China bull. I think these moves are, for the most part, just getting started. So BABA's going to be the leader. We're going to be watching that. But I really like a few other names, like PDD. I think this one is looking very constructive long-term and just ready to make a nice push. There was also good flow on PDD. I am in the, 1128, 137 strikes. There was big flow on those, and that would align with sweeping the high here and looking for expansion probably into this weekly imbalance and this big pivot zone here. So I love this chart. I love China in general. So KWeb, these are, on a long-term perspective, moves are just getting started here.
China.
So we have tons of room to catch up, and we have the catalyst next week with the Xi and Trump meeting, which I believe will be favorable for China, just given the amount of leverage Xi has, considering the amount of exports that have been going on, even with tariffs. So that's kind of my look on China there, and that's why it's the top sector for me next week.
Yeah, I like that you brought up the Xi-Trump meeting as well, because I think that's a really key catalyst to be aware of, and I think a great reason to watch these names, as well as you mentioned earlier, these critical minerals names as well. So, Steve, thank you so much for being here with us today. Is there anywhere we can find you? Anyone else who wants to look at any of your content, find you over there at Trade the Pool?
Yeah, thanks so much. So every time I'm on here, after this, I go to Trade the Pool's YouTube channel. You can find me there doing a webinar. This week, it will be on the wave trend oscillator, one of my favorites. We are going to get a lot of use out of this, and we're going to do a lot of examples. That's what I always have at the top of my chart here. So we're going to be analyzing this. And if you like what I do, you can find me on Twitter at Steve Teilman, SteveTeilmann. And there's also a link to my Discord in the bio there, where you can find me 24/7.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for being here with us. Steve Teilman over at Trade the Pool, an analyst there. Thank you, as always, for your Friday insights. And again, check out that Trade the Pool stream after this one. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Adara. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for all your questions for Steve. Unfortunately, I was not able to cover all of them, and I do apologize for that. Some of these questions as well. He did talk about Quantum earlier. If you go back, I asked one of the first things I asked was actually about Quantum. So some of these we can go back over earlier. But I do want to mention here as well, we'll go over a couple other questions. We've got a couple of minutes left. Uplift Market saying, what do I do to relax after such an intense trading week? Honestly, I mean, you know, I write, I go home, I chill, but I really do love the markets. And so I'm always thinking about what I might do next week as well. And maybe that's like I need to get better at is just doing that relaxing. But I am, you know, I love what I do, and I'm also always very grateful to be here with you guys. Or Alpha saying, take the red off. Hey, well, guess what, guys? The market did not tank today, so no one can be too upset. I do want to go over what we have on tap for next week, because here is our TTV Research weekly calendar. There are a lot of earnings names here, and there's actually not all of them are on this calendar. We do have daily calendars as well, as I mentioned. I put them out every day around 3 p.m. Eastern the day before. So like, for example, for Tuesday's calendar, we'll get that on Monday around 3 p.m. Eastern. Tons of earnings names on the docket, though. And also, we get the FOMC press conference on Wednesday, October 29th at 2 p.m. Will Powell pivot? I mean, I don't think people really want him to pivot this time, right? Because we've already got that rate cut cycle. We're expecting it to continue. Let's figure out how this keeps going, because I think we might actually be in that cycle where we do start getting more rate cuts. But we also have the issue of the dissent within the Fed. And Fed dissent is not necessarily unhealthy, but it's kind of odd that the last two meetings, we've had at least one dissenting vote. So let's see if the trend continues, given that we know at least one Fed member, Steve Myron, is very likely to vote for a 50 basis point cut. We'll probably get a little bit more dissent once again. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with us. I'm going to end with a roll call. Thank you to Bob J. Thank you to DJ 2AM, Beaushot, Save Men, Woman, Peace, Rich Bile. We've got Showtime, VB, TH, David Treziak, Jay Haas, Mike Laurie. We have Beaushot. Once again, guys, put your names in the chat if you want to get a shout out and you want to say hi. Thank you for Philip S. Hambone, High Vibrations, Rahul, Derek Thompson. We've got the G. We've got Travman, Jaguar, Dinkelberg, Dollar Sales Solutions, Grandmother's Garden, Travman once again here. Elijah, we've got Meraki's, LFGJs, I think Neil will probably like that username. Save Man, Woman, Peace, Byron Hart, Harry S, DJ 2AM, Bob Stewart, and Kalula. We'll end with that, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. But the fun's not over, though the week and the day are. You can check us out on Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Huge earnings week, huge Fed week, and I can't wait to see you all there. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you so much.